Left fielder, number 45.
High above Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, it is baseball night in America, and Game 2 between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Colorado Rockies. After they played a memorable opener in Game 1 last night that saw the Dodgers improve their Major League best record to 52-25, and not just one of the best outings of Walker Buehler's young career, but one of the best outings in baseball this season as he strikes out 16, the most in a National League game this season. It was 2-2 going to the ninth inning when Matt Beatty, the rookie, hit a two-run shot to give the Dodgers the 4-2 win. Glad you're with us for Game 2. Joe Davis with Eric Karros and JP Morosi joins us in a moment. So Walker Buehler with that splendid outing in Game 1. Here in Game 2, the Dodgers throw arguably the best pitcher in baseball this season in Hyun-Jin Ryu.
Well, when you talk about the great left-hander for the Dodgers, the name that immediately comes to mind is Clayton Kershaw, but not this year. It's Hyun-Jin Ryu, and he has been absolutely dynamite. You look at that ERA, 1.26. The walks per 9 innings, just half a walk. He's only walked 5 guys in 93 innings. And at home this year, he's got a .87 ERA. He has been the best pitcher in baseball.
It is strength against strength, though. This Dodger pitching staff against the Rockies lineup, very good, and nobody hotter right now than Charlie Blackmon, their right fielder.
Well, the all-star outfielder has been absolutely dynamite. Chuck Nasty is what they call him. And he was nasty last week, earning Player of the Week honors in the National League. He hit 6 home runs, hit over 500. This guy leads this offense, and he has been on fire. He's going to have his work cut out for him tonight.
And historically good in this recent 10-game run. 25 hits and 7 home runs after last night for Charlie Blackmon over these 10 games. That is the best 10-game run since Lou Gehrig in 1930. It is a star-laden lineup for the Rockies. Another one of those stars stands by with J.P. Morosi, Nolan Arenado.
Thank you, Joe. Nolan, you faced Hyun-Jin Ryu many times. What do you explain the levels that he's reaching this season?
Yeah, I mean, he's been unbelievable. You got to give him credit. He's been really good. You know, he's not missing over the plate a whole lot. He's got a great cutter. He's got good pitches, and but he's got to hit the mistakes. If you know, we can't let him get away with mistakes, and if we can do that, I think we'll be all right.
Your 54th career game here at Dodger Stadium. They are the best team in baseball, your division rival, and yet I know you, Nolan. You are at your core, El Toro High School, 50 miles away. What does it mean to play in this setting in a game like this?
Well, it's amazing. I mean, it's a great environment. Their fans are intense. It's a great place to play, and I mean, it brings energy out of you. You know, you can't wait to play here. They're the best team. They've been in the World Series the last 2 years. You know, it's very easy to get up for these games.
Nolan, thanks so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you.
Joe, back to you.
All right, JP and his Rockies got off to a slow start this season, but since then, these are the top 2 teams in the National League. It is the Dodgers and the Rockies. It's baseball night in America from Los Angeles, coming up after this. Going with that marquee matchup that we talked about off of the top, set to lead this game off. Charlie Blackmon against Hyun-Jin Ryu. Got the 31-game on-base streak going, but he's also got an 11-game hitting streak where he has 8 home runs after he hit a solo shot last night.
Yeah, absolutely been as hot as any hitter in baseball. Going to be a tough one today.
Off we go here in Game 2 with Ryu missing inside. Ball 1 on Charlie Blackmon. Ryu makes his 15th start of the season. He's given up 2 or fewer runs in each of the first 14. 32 years old out of South Korea, home with a 1-0. That is cracked foul, 1-1.
Yeah, cracked is broken bat, right? That just got inside, and that's where you'll see it. Ryu will live on his arm side today, meaning inside the lefties, away from righties.
Rest of the lineup after Blackmon, it'll be Ian Desmond hitting second in center field. David Dahl's having a huge season, hitting third. Arenado, Murphy, and Iannetta through the heart of the Rockies lineup, with the man at second and the rookie Brendan Rodgers starting at short. It's Blackmon leading it off, and it's 1-2.
And you see, not a lot of velocity, 90 miles an hour, but again, he is going to just pound that side of the plate against the left-handers. See, he's got Blackmon set up right now. He can run that cutter away. May even throw a curveball here. He doesn't like to use it very often. On a 1-2 pitch, that is foul, and we'll do it again.
not seen the Rockies yet this season. Saw him just once last year and delivered 7 shutout innings. But if you look at the bigger picture, Ryu has struggled against Colorado in his career.
Yeah, he really has. You know, in his career, he's got an ERA over 6, and really since 2017, Rockies are 4-1 against him.
Blackman serves it into center field for Alex Verdugo, and the first out of the afternoon. Well, Hyun-Jin Ryu is in his 5th true major league season, interrupted by the shoulder surgery and then the elbow surgery, but the 126 earned run average would be the 2nd lowest of the live ball era, behind just Bob Gibson and his 112 in 1968. Included a 32-inning scoreless streak earlier this season. And while it seems like it's a breakout, really, it's the last 2 seasons Ryu has been among the best pitchers in baseball.
Well, and it sort of correlates. You know, he got rid of the slider, doesn't use that at all. Basically 3 types of fastballs, a changeup, and the occasional curveball.
Ball 1 on Ian Desmond.
You know, when I say 3 types of fastballs, it's the 4-seamer, it's the sinker, and it's the cutter. And, you know, the cutter, it doesn't really come in, it just stays straight.
Desmond with a line drive to left center field that'll drop in for a base hit. On his way to second, here comes Verdugo's throw, bounces in there, and the tag applied by Muncy, but he got around it. Desmond able to avoid the tag, and he's got a double here in the first.
And I think Muncy may have even dropped the ball, and it obviously the ball beat Desmond to the bag. Muncy goes to apply the tag, and I don't know if he ever fielded it cleanly or if it dropped out of his glove when he went to put down the tag. You know, Desmond wasn't even at the base.
Yeah.
So it looks like he goes to swipe and he hits the base. Let's take a look here. No, he never had it. The head goes to, hey, here comes Desmond. Never saw the ball into the glove there.
And so it's first inning opportunity for David Dahl in these Rockies. Number 1 offense in baseball since starting the season, 3-12. He tossed that part of the schedule out, and they have scored 6.5 runs per game.
Well, that's the irony. The way they started, it wasn't poor pitching. I mean, it wasn't great, but the offense was just so Colorado-unlike.
Bud Black said before the game today that it's every team goes through stretches like that during a season as part of the ebbs and flows. It just so happened that theirs came without any good work to balance the books.
No, it really wasn't. And really, you look back at it, but Blackman and Arenado combined had 0 home runs in that 15-game stretch.
On a 2-0, Dahl swings and foul tips it 2-1.
So this is interesting right now. First inning, Desmond out at second base, runners in scoring position this year. That's where Ryu has fared his best.
Opponents 3 for 59 in these situations. Here he comes with a 2-1, lifted to right center field, sending Bellinger back to the warning track, and he makes the catch. Well, he wasn't totally sure when he was going to get to the wall, but he was able to adjust midair and pull it in for out number 2.
So one of the things I'll say, having played here, albeit years ago, the sun in that situation for the right side of the field is difficult. And I think that's what Cody was battling with. It wasn't the most, fortuitous of routes. And you see he gets there, he's looking for the wall, and boom, I got it. But just to find out where he is relative to the wall and also to battle that sun, that's a great catch.
So 2 gone, and it's up to Nolan Arenado here in the first inning. And Arenado has hit Ryu like nobody else. 11 for 19 with 3 home runs against Ryu lifetime.
And I think the Dodgers, obviously they're aware of it. Russell Martin has to be aware of it. You've got first base open. And so I'm doing nothing but throwing to the corners. If I walk him, okay, I'll take my chances. I go against Murph.
Arenado hit his 19th home run of the season last night. 13th that he's hit in his career at this ballpark. Like JP talked about, a ballpark that he grew up watching games in. That's foul, and it's quickly 0-2.
You see right now with Arenado and with Blackman, Ryu and the Dodgers have decided we're going to go in. We're going in. We are going to go in. We'll break some bats. Which again, if you decide to go inside on these guys, where do you? If you don't care if you hit them, you just don't want to leave it out over the plate.
0-2 pitch. Went up with a fastball, and Arenado took it, ball one. Arenado signing that extension this spring. One of the top players in baseball.
Now, he really is a great player. On both sides of the ball, he sets a standard for really all-around players in this game.
He's hit more home runs, driven in more runs than any player in the sport over the last 5 seasons.
I think he won a platinum glove, I believe, which that's better than the gold glove. That goes to the top fielder.
6 full seasons, 6 gold gloves.
Is that good?
That is not bad. Behind here, 1-2, and Ryu will step off. The only other guy that has won gold gloves in each of his first 6 seasons in the majors, Ichiro. And he had a head start playing professionally in Japan for a decade. Desmond at second, 2 gone. Here comes a 1-2 that's taken high, and the count evens 2-2. You mentioned his slow start this season. Homerless over the first 15 games, and that corresponded exactly with the Rockies going 3-12. Nolan, the kind of guy that is very hard on himself, swings and swings and swings until he feels like something clicks. Finally did in San Francisco a couple of weeks into the season, and he's been himself since. On a 2-2 pitch, hooks it down the line to left. That's going to drop, and the Rockies take a first-inning lead. Arenado drives home Desmond, and it's 1-0 Colorado in the first.
First baseman number 9, Daniel Murphy.
Well, they try to go away in this situation, and remember, they've been pounding him in. You know, Russell wants something out over the plate. It's low, but it gets way too much of the plate. And you see Arenado he keeps his head down. He's looking to drive in a run right there. I mean, really one of the best RBI men in all of baseball.
62nd RBI this season. Breaks a tie with Cody Bellinger for second in the National League. First pitch curve lands for a strike on Daniel Murphy. He was in his first season in a Rockies uniform and has started to heat up. Most of the first month he missed with an injury.
Well, and I think that sort of coincides with their struggles.
That is a foul ball. And it's 0-2.
You know, we talked about Blackmon and Arenado, again, not getting off to any type of offensive start, but they also missed Daniel Murphy. So you couple that with starting out on the road in Miami and Tampa, then coming right back, you're playing L.A. and Atlanta. You know, it was almost the perfect storm. And you have to give this ball club credit. You have to give credit to Bud Black that, you know, they were able to keep their head above water.
Ryu brings him in 0-2, and a breaking ball misses away, ball one. And not just keep their heads above water since then, but mentioned it off the top of the show, only the Dodgers have been better in the National League since they began 3-12. They've gone 37-23.
Well, and in the playoff start today, they're one of your teams.
Right. 11 back in the division, but right there at the top of the wild card standings. Well, who isn't a part of the wild card discussion at this point?
Marlins and Giants,
That's
right?
It.
You know, I mean, it really is something. The National League is going to be exciting over this next month or so. You know, you get to the trade deadline, you see how teams separate themselves. I mean, look at that. Look at that start, 3-12, and the runs per game. You would never expect that from a Colorado ball club. And especially with some of the great players that they have, but it all seemed to coincide that just couldn't hit it that time.
Murphy smacks it on the ground to short. Chris Taylor feeding Justin Turner. Shifted over there to bring this top of the first to a close. But the Rockies strike first against Hyun-Jin Ryu. Or Baden catching Ryu. They face off with a 22-year-old Peter Lambert, who is from San Dimas, California, about 30 miles from here. He grew up coming to games at Dodger Stadium, and today makes his 4th Major League start here.
Yeah, this is his 4th Major League start, but I'd have to imagine that this is his most adrenaline rush start. As you mentioned, San Dimas High School, 2015, getting a start in his hometown.
Yeah, facing Jock Peterson, owner of 20 home runs this season. Boy, so much for a soft landing for the kid, huh? I mean, he debuts at Wrigley Field, back-to-back starts against the Cubs, and now he's got to come to Dodger Stadium and face one of the top lineups in the league.
Well, and oh, by the way, also mix in a start on a hot hittery day at Coors Field.
After he'd watched 300 runs scored the 3 days before. He falls behind Peterson 2-0.
It'll be interesting to watch him today because Lambert is a strike thrower. He needs to control the strike zone. Doesn't want to be the big part. And that's what the Dodger offense is as good as any team in the National League, maybe all of baseball, in controlling the plate. And so they're going to force him, get the ball over, get me a hittable pitch. And Lambert, he's going to have to nibble. He's going to have to hit corners because this offense, they will make a pitcher work.
Number 1 in the National League in on-base percentage and in slugging and in avoiding strikeouts. Peterson took a swing at a 3-0. It's fouled and strike 1.
Well, and you mentioned the starts against the Chicago Cubs. I mean, they're as well-disciplined offensive team as anybody. And so for this guy, this youngster, 3 of his first 4 starts, Cubs, Dodgers, I mean, right into the fire.
Well, like you said, San Diego, that lineup is no slouch.
No, and you're pitching in a hittery day at Coors Field, right? So, like I said, he's being mentally tested, no question.
Babyface killer, in the words of Bud Black. They love his demeanor. Battle back to run the count full on Jock Peterson after falling behind him 3-0. 22-year-old back home with the next one, and he walked in to open the day. They're talking about that debut for Peter Lambert, Wrigley Field on June 6th. Just 1 run over 7 innings. He struck out 9 Cubs in that game. That's a record for a Rocky in his debut.
Yeah, and one of the things, if you look back at that start, the Cubs were very aggressive, and that worked to his favor. And that's the thing he's going to have to battle today. He needs to throw strike 1, but that strike 1 can't be a pitch that somebody's looking for up at the plate. It's got to be on a corner. It's got to be a pitcher's pitch. We just saw the first batter, 3-0, and then ends up Jock Peterson drawing a walk.
One rookie to another here as Lambert delivers to Alex Verdugo, and a little bit outside ball 1. And that's the issue that this Dodger lineup presents, not just Lambert, but anybody that faces them. You don't want to give them anything good to hit because there's so much damage, but they chase at a lower rate than any team in the league.
And he's really, the strike 1 component is going to be huge for him as we watch him tonight. You know, Lambert has good stuff, but it's not overpowering stuff. And he's, you know, he would be classified as a finesse guy, a pitchability guy. You know, the fastball is 94 at tops, maybe gets to 95, but he's going to be around 2 and 3. He's got the changeup, the curveball, but it's not, doesn't have any type of wipeout pitch.
Peterson off of first as Lambert comes home with a 1-1, and Verdugo hits it on the ground. Jungled initially by Murphy, goes to second, 1, laid at first, and a fielder's choice, 1 gone.
That's a great job by Lambert. Got the pitch in on Verdugo. Murphy makes a nice play, but that's got to be a double play. No reason to go down on a knee in that situation right there because he bobbles it a little bit. Like I don't understand the knee, right? That's an easy, you know, just shuffle your feet a little bit, boom, throw it. And again, against this offense, against any offense, you do not want to give away outs. Outs are golden at every level.
Ask Hyun Jin Ryu and the Dodgers in the top of this inning.
Absolutely, right? Play should have been made.
From Muncy.
Yes.
That run winds up scoring. Bud Black out to have a little conversation here with the crew chief, Paul Emmel.
mean, there's so many nuances over at second base or at first base. You know, you're wondering, now did the slide into second have anything to do with anything? Can you appeal that?
The slide you were asking about.
See, and you look how far Jock is in right there, but he establishes his baseline once he starts heading to second base.
And then it becomes a matter of not altering.
Correct.
That is strike one on Justin Turner. It was thrown out of last night's game in the 4th inning by Chad Fairchild. Turner's now been ejected 4 times in his career. Twice it was Fairchild that ejected him. And Turner said he had really no idea why it was him. There's chirping from that Dodger dugout. Fairchild turned over and picked Turner out of the bunch.
Sounds like they're establishing a relationship.
Or ending.
Right.
Turner having a very Justin Turner-like season, hitting above 300, especially good over the last month. One of the top hitters in the National League since he put the Dodger uniform on a few years back from New York. Takes inside, and it's 1-2.
You know what I think I admire most about him as a hitter is his ability to recognize what he's capable of doing at certain times of the season. Meaning, hey, I'm not feeling great, so I'm going to shoot some balls to right. Hey, I'm feeling it, I can try to hit one out. Hey, I'm not seeing it that well, maybe I draw a walk. And to have that type of discipline, you know, that allows you to be a superstar.
On a 1-2 pitch, that's down and away, and 2-2.
And you see this, look at, and you're taught this. Look at the route that Jock is taking right there. He gets on the inner part of the infield, almost on the grass. Where he started was outside the grass, well within the dirt. But once you establish, and he's establishing his path on the grass, then that is the baseline. If he would have continued outside on the dirt and then midway through or at the last minute tries to run to the grass, then he could be called for obstruction.
Two-two. Turner lofts it to center field for Ian Desmond, and 2 gone here in the first.
So real nice job right now by Lambert after walking Peterson, and then what should have been a double play. Battles against Turner. Got Bellinger up at the plate right now. Again, he seemed to have calmed down a bit. I don't even know if he was rattled to begin with.
And Bud Black said he didn't anticipate any kind of added nerves or negative energy coming from the fact that he's pitching in the place that he grew up coming to games. So he now gets ready to face Bellinger, who's got Verdugo at first and 2 gone here in the first inning. Bellinger hit his 25th home run of the season last night, and his 5th over his last 9 games.
I mean, do we really need to say anything about this man? I mean the type of season that he's having. You know, the adjustments that he's made.
Good looking change, and it's 1-1. Leads the league hitting .356. He's second in home runs behind Christian Yelich. Third in RBIs behind Josh Bell and Nolan Arenado after his first inning base hit. On this 1-1, Bellinger watches a fastball dip low, ball 2.
And one of the things that I've noticed this year is his ability with 2 strikes. I mean, he's one of the highest in the National League in hitting with 2 strikes. But in the past, he wouldn't change his approach. He's still going to try and jack one, but now it's get the barrel to the ball, shorten up the swing, shoot it to left if he has to. I mean, you take a look at that. I mean, that's great. The fact, I mean, if you hit 240 with 2 strikes, that's unheard of.
Right.
He's almost hitting close to 300.
And the driver's seat here on 3-1. He takes a healthy rip and misses. Another good changeup from Lambert, and the count is full.
Right, and you saw Lambert threw the 1-0 changeup. Fooled Bellinger. And then here in a hitter's count, 3-1. Man, I think I'd almost have to come back with that. And I'd come back with it out of the zone. You know, hope that Cody's aggressive. But the new Cody this year, he takes the walk.
Verdugo will take off with his 3-2 pitch. He dropped a breaking ball in there to get him. Well, if Bellinger takes one of those big rips, it's a hanger. Instead, it's taken, and the first inning is over. A forward pass. You're moving. Back in Los Angeles, where the Dodgers and Rockies are playing Game 2 of this weekend series, and the Rockies have an early lead on Hyun-Jin Ryu. Iannetta, McMahon, and Rogers coming up here in the second. The veteran catcher back with the Rockies for a second stint takes ball one from Ryu. They check down to first, and Paul Emmel says that he went around, and so it's strike one. Iannetta, time on the injured list early on with the lat strain. And while he was out, Tony Walters took off. And Walters actually leading all catchers in the National League in batting average. So they've gone from having the catching spot be somewhat of a missing link to the lineup in terms of offense to a strength for them.
Right, and Walter's always known as a defensive guy, catch and throw, and really negates the running game. But maybe with the continued playing time, got into a groove and started swinging it.
That is a foul ball, and it stays at 0-2. There's Walters, who started last night's game, which the Dodgers won 4-2. Rockies trying to end a 9-game losing streak against LA. That's the longest in this series history. On an 0-2 pitch, Iannetta swings and misses, and Ryu has his first strikeout of the game.
You see this pitch, a curveball out of the zone, and that's where Ryu is so good. I mean, he's third in all of baseball in getting hitters to swing at pitches outside of the zone. 37% of pitches outside of the zone hitters will offer at against Ryu, which is crazy.
One gone for Ryan McMahon. I mean, it's not like this guy is new to big league baseball. Even if you go back before the shoulder surgery, he was one of the top pitchers in the National League by some measures, 2013 and 14, but then just one game pitched between 2015 and 16 combined, and it became easy to kind of forget about him. Even when he came back 2017, he failed to make the postseason roster, but broke out again last season and has the #1 earned run average in baseball since the beginning of 2018.
Well, the big culprit is health. And you know, there was a bit of a scare in April with the groin. He was down for 12 days. And just as you said, Joe, I mean, you look at that ERA.
It's not close.
It really isn't. And again, you look at all those guys there, you know, DeGrom, Verlander, Scherzer, they all have at least one dominant pitch. And Ryu
lifted to right field for Cody Bellinger. Big swing, but a small fly, 2 gone.
I wouldn't say that Ryu has any one dominant pitch, but he's got 4 excellent pitches that he will throw at any time, any count. And he is, in the true sense of the word, a pitcher. You know, he's not a thrower. He's not a guy that just relies on one pitch and says, hey, get in the box, here it comes. You know, he navigates. He sets hitters up. He sequences guys.
Gets his first look at the rookie Brendan Rodgers and starts him with a curve that's high. He's drawn comparisons, Ryu has, to Greg Maddux and the way that he can command all those pitches and put them anywhere that he wants.
You know, one of the things, though, that he does differently than any pitcher I've ever heard of, especially at the big league level, during the season, there's no bullpens in between starts. The last bullpen he threw was in spring training. Now, he may have thrown 1 or 2 when he was down for those 12 days, but His routine, just long toss and some flat ground throwing. And a lot of massages.
When he came over from Korea and threw his first live BP, Rick Honeycutt, the longtime pitching coach, said, okay, good stuff. A couple things we can work on. When do you throw your side session? 2 days, 3 days. And Ryu said, I don't. And Rick Honeycutt looked at him like, what do you mean you don't? But yeah, that's the routine that he came here with from Korea, and he's stuck with it. He's got a 1-2-3 second after he gave up a run in the first.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Gather round, everyone. This is a major announcement. On Saturday, June 29th, in London, England, baseball royalty comes to town. It's the Yankees of New York versus the Red Sox of Boston. Only on Fox.
It's going to be sweet. Next Saturday, 12:30 Eastern on Fox from London. The Yankees, who are red hot, by the way, having won 7 straight, taking on the Astros right now, and the Boston Red Sox, who have also gotten hot. Leading off this second for the Dodgers is Max Muncy, and Peter Lambert pours in a strike over the inside corner. Well, Max Muncy, since the beginning of last season when he was promoted from AAA to make his Dodger debut, has been one of the top hitters in the league. Checks his swing on a breaking ball outside, and it's 1-1. This is a guy who was let go by the Oakland A's, sitting on his couch in 2017 opening day. Didn't have a job. Dodgers called him, gave him a minor league contract. Because of injuries, got an opportunity to show what he could do with a new swing at the major league level last year, and has been a key piece for the Dodgers the last 2 seasons.
Well, and I think the Dodgers also, they set him up for success. And meaning he would play against right-handed pitching. He wouldn't go in there against the tough lefties. He was able to start to feel good about himself.
Serves one towards the left field corner. That is peeling off the base of the wall. On his way to second, here comes Dahl's throw, and Muncy's going to lead off double. Extending his on-base streak to 31 games for the moment, matching Charlie Blackmon.
Well, and one of the things, I mean, Muncy is just an excellent hitter. He's not just a slugger. You see that pitch, it's not a terrible pitch. It's down and away. Muncy shoots that off the left field wall. You know, but getting back to, the Dodgers and Dave Roberts, the front office, he's playing against right-handers, and then he's doing well. Let's ease him into some left-handed matchups. Does well, and before you know it, he's out there every day.
Yeah. Dave Roberts, 3 consecutive division titles to open his time as the manager. Of course, the back-to-back World Series trips. 1-0 Rockies, second inning, and Chris Taylor hits with a man at second and nobody out. Takes ball 1. Taylor, a similar story to Max Muncy, who's acquired for next to nothing. Acquired for a minor league pitcher a few years back. His breakout season was 2017. He was the National League Championship Series co-MVP. Hit the leadoff for the Dodgers during that World Series run. And ahead of Lambert here, 2-0. Now these days, Taylor playing every day at short. Corey Seager is on the injured list. Expected back sometime early in the second half. Muscled to left center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Muncy had to hold on to make sure that it would drop. And so he stops at third, and the Dodgers are at the corners with nobody out.
You see Taylor just fights this pitch off. A good pitch by Lambert. He was able, as you mentioned, muscles it out to left field. Right now, if you're Peter Lambert, you got to navigate this inning. You say, if you get out of it with 1 run, it's a success. What you don't want to do is compound this thing. You look at it, you got Beatty, Martin, and then Ryu up at the plate. And this is the guy right here you want to work ahead of. At the worst, maybe a sac fly.
It's last night's hero, Beatty's second career home run was the walk-off last night. And he takes a fastball for a strike right down the heart of the plate.
Well, good job by Lambert getting ahead right now. You know, Iannetta now has to navigate, help him through this hitter. Got that changeup against a lefty that usually fares well. A good spot to throw it right here.
Used it against Bellinger a couple times. Goes back to the fastball, gets it by Beatty, strike 2.
So he took a fastball, he's late on a fastball. So this is where the whole guessing game, you know, is Beatty sitting on a changeup? Do I want to try and sneak another fastball? Am I going to go out of the zone here? There's so many different scenarios right now, and it's almost like you've got to guess right. You know, if I'm Lambert here, maybe I throw the changeup out of the zone here.
That is to left field, and Matt Beatty has tied the game. One afternoon after winning the game with a home run, he ties it at 1 in the second with a base hit scoring Muncy.
So I think that tells you right there. I like the pitch call. That the pitch, though, isn't in the greatest of locations. That's got to be down. He threw some excellent ones to Bellinger. But Beatty, I mean, it almost tells you that he was sitting on changeup all the way, or at least in that situation, he was protecting against the changeup. He didn't pull the trigger on the fastball. He knows that that is a pitch that Lambert's going to go to against left-handed hitters.
Pitching coach Steve Foster out there talking with the rookie. First and second, still nobody out here in the second. Beatty, by the way, in his short time in the majors, 8 for 16 with runners in scoring position. And up comes Russell Martin.
Well, it's interesting. We were talking to Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, and you know, I asked him, when's the last time you brought somebody up, position player-wise, that didn't produce? We had to sit and try to think of somebody, and we couldn't come up with anybody.
Said he credited a couple things with that. Very inviting, welcoming clubhouse environment was first. Russell Martin, one of the veterans that's worked to create that. Takes a breaking ball down and away, 1-0. The other thing is, with the depth in the organization, nobody's called on before they're ready and absolutely needed. Nobody's rushed.
Now, you brought that up in the meeting, and it's a great point. I mean, you don't see somebody come up here that isn't seasoned already.
Lambert's 1-0 is on the corner, strike 1.
Excellent pitch right there. And it's almost as if it, you know, you've got to stay out there. Just stay out there. You know, tip your cap if Russell Martin is going to drive that ball to right field. But I'm going to live out there with fastballs.
Stays out there with a changeup, and it's 2-1.
You see Lambert, he pulled the card out right there. Look at, you know, what should I be throwing here? What's the situation? You know, we used to think that it was just the outfielders and then the infielders, and everybody's got a card.
Home with a 2-1. Ball 3.
See, those are the types of pitches that Lambert needs. And again, he's the type of guy that against offenses that like to expand the zone, and that's probably that's close to a strike right there. But the Dodgers, they're so disciplined.
On a 3-1, Martin shoots it to first. It's caught by Murphy, and Taylor's back to the bag safely. So 1 gone here in the second as Martin lines out.
So really great jobs on so many fronts. You know, Peter Lambert having the discipline to stay outside with that fastball. And then on the second hand, you know, Russell Martin doing a great job of just shooting it to right field. You know, just some bad luck right there, but really a nice pitch by Lambert.
And he did continue to pound away like you said he probably should.
You know, and he's in a great spot, just like we talked about a few hitters earlier. First and third, nobody out. If you can just get out of here, give up the 1 run, not big damage. And he's got 1 out now.
And Hyun-Jin Ryu in a sacrifice situation. Bunts it foul. It looked like Chris Taylor got his hand crunched here, huh? Ouch.
That looks like some fingers. You just got to hope that the spikes, that the spike part didn't get the finger, right? And maybe the sole part, because remember the spikes, there's only 8 or 9 spikes on that shoe.
So then it just really hurts instead of being blood everywhere.
It's an owie.
1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, the last thing the Dodgers need is to lose another shortstop. Again, if that's a spike on the hand, it usually doesn't fare too well.
Bunted firmly along third. Lambert slides to get it. The old high school shortstop makes the play. Ryu able to advance the runners to second and third. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Good bunt by Ryu. Good play by Lambert.
Yeah, Lambert's showing some great athleticism, and you see Arenado in there. He takes a step in, and then he decides to go back. Lambert hustles over there. He wants to make a play at third base. Arenado had already committed. Lambert not messing around, though, man. Very athletic. You see him taking a look at the card again.
As he gets ready to face the Dodger lineup his second time, here's Jock Peterson, who walked his first time. Yeah, Lambert didn't begin pitching until he was a junior at San Dimas High School. He was their star shortstop as an underclassman. His older brother Jimmy, that was the team's ace at that point. It's inside and ball 1. Second round pick out of San Dimas High School. Top pitching prospect in the system coming into the year, and then made his debut just a couple weeks ago.
Jock walked in his last at bat. Was ahead 3-0, then went to a 3-2 count. But if I'm Lambert, I am super careful, because again, I can get my club into the dugout. It's 1-1. The last thing I want right now is one pitch and it's a 4-1 ball game. 2-0 right now. I'm painting a corner. I don't even care if I walk Jock. I do not care. I'll start with Verdugo on an 0-0 count. Bases loaded. Force at any base.
And not quite as much thunder in that bat. 20 home runs for Peterson, top 10 in the National League. Verdugo just 5 this year.
And right, and that's not playing every day.
Yeah.
You know?
On a 2-0, Peterson takes it in the dirt, ball 3.
It's a great pitch. That's a smart pitch. Nice job by Iannetta. I mean, I'd almost right here. I just, let's get him down to first base.
Hold the 4 fingers up.
Hold the 4 fingers.
Don't waste one.
I really would. I wouldn't even mess around here. Tell you right now, he's swinging if it's 3-0 and he likes it.
That's a strike, 3-1.
Not a bad pitch there. Not the Jock's liking, though.
Taylor at third, Beatty at second. 2 gone and a tie game in the second inning. On a 3-1, Peterson grounds it to first for Murphy, feeding Lambert to end the inning. Dodgers get 1 to tie it. It's 1-1 to the third in LA. Visit to your favorite ballpark. You can buy and manage game tickets and plenty more by downloading the MLB Ballpark app today. Ryu against Lambert, delivers strike one. 9-1-2 for the Rockies here in the third after they got one in the first inning and a base hit from Nolan Arenado. And went down in order in the second.
Saw those numbers. Oh, Lambert can swing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Can't just throw it on up there. And as you mentioned many a times, a former shortstop.
Got a hit in his first big league plate appearance.
And we saw by him bouncing off the mound. Very athletic kid.
He shoots that one fair over the bag and into right. And so Lambert with the leadoff single and is now 4 for 7 in his major league career. He fits right into this Rockies lineup, doesn't he?
That's great. The young man gets a hit in his return to his hometown. Pitches, hits. See this ball just shot down the line. Jock, no chance.
And so the leadoff man on, and up comes Charlie Blackmon. Flied out to center field his first time. And besides having this 31 game on base streak, he's leading baseball in slugging during that stretch. You're not supposed to do both things, be able to reach every day and slug at an elite clip. But Blackmon somehow has. 32-year-old three-time All-Star takes a strike, and it's 1-1.
Well, and Bud Black telling us before the game, very meticulous. Studies pitchers, knows how they're going to go after him. They're sequencing. You know, it's not just, hey, I'm going to go take some BP today. Hey, I'm going to go see how far I can hit the ball. Little league, yes. Big leagues, no.
It's a job.
It really is. And you know, just the grind of playing every day, the mental, the mental drain, the physical drain, and it's not for everyone.
Ahead here, 2-1. And that's foul, 2-2. Blackmon, in addition to taking care of his body, above and beyond. They say that every game, about 15 minutes after the game finishes, he's in the weight room, going through his daily weightlifting routine.
And that's crazy. You know, we talk always about how it's great to hit at Coors, but to play a season at Coors, the taxing it puts on your body, you know, physically. You know, I'd always joke that, man, I'd love to play up there for a season and, you know, take my numbers and you know, go to arbitration. But I'm not sure I'd make it through July. You know, again, the games, the lengthy games, what these guys just went through in that 4-game series with San Diego, that just doesn't end after that 4-game series. I mean, there's residual effects. That stays with you.
You often see visiting teams struggle in the series following the trips to Coors Field. As a result of those things, it almost hit him and the count goes full.
Well, you've got to be in some sort of physical shape to play an entire season in Colorado.
One thing for Charlie Blackmon perhaps helping is that he moved off center field this series, playing right. And besides the obvious of a less taxing position, that is a very large outfield. Running back and forth to his position each inning is a significantly shorter distance over the course of the year. That ball came out on the transfer, so they get the out at second. And Blackmon aboarded first, one gone.
So I think if you're watching this, you're the Dodgers. Sure, you'd like to see the double play, but the exciting part, Jock, that's a nice job right there. Throws it to the outer part of the bag right there. A good lane. You know, in a perfect world, you'd maybe like to see one hand there. It's a little more fluid that way, but it's a great throw. Chris Taylor just unable to handle it. Rockies like that, though. You've got Blackmon at first now. Lambert back in the dugout. I think the umpires are going to take a look at the slide.
Says the call on the field is under review.
Or did he actually lose it on the transfer?
Well, if you lose it on the transfer, you're losing it on the transfer. So he has it there. That's his. He's got it. Now he's opening it up to make the transfer. I think it's clear there that it is on the transfer.
So
I've got it. He's out there.
Look at?
Although
he
here,
on the bat?
that's it right there. Yep. That's the argument. So I've got it there. But see, so here's the thing. You're exactly right, Joe. Was he on the base, or when he was on the base, did he have control of the ball? All right, let's guess. Let's play. Let's play before. Come on, this is a game. This is
okay. The neighborhood play is dead.
Yeah, there's no such
so
thing.
They're not going to give it that.
I'm going to say safe on this.
I think I'm with you.
Yes or no? You got to give me yes or no. I need a commit. Come on.
Well, since you went safe, I'll stick with the call on the field just because it's really hard to overturn calls on the field. Debate.
You just got to go with what you see here, and
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm just trying to.
You're just trying to do the.
Debate shows.
Okay,
you go one way, I go the other. It's no fun if we choose the same thing.
Got it. I hear you.
But I tend to agree with you. That ball came out before the foot hit the bag. Just is there enough, according to New York, to overturn it?
Well, regardless, it was a nice play by Jock. Jock over at first base. It's a nice throw.
Second career start there, third career game at first base. Here comes the verdict from the replay center, I think. All right. Safe. So the call is overturned, and the Rockies in business here in the third with men at first and second and nobody out.
Well, you don't usually like to see your starting pitcher run the bases, but in this case, Bud Black will take it.
The hitter now is Ian Desmond, who's going through one of his best stretches since putting the Rockies uniform on 2.5 years ago. First 2 seasons with Colorado, he was one of the worst offensive players they'd ever seen at Coors Field, which is just mind-boggling. Leading the majors in ground ball percentage over those 2 seasons, which is obviously not ideal in a park where the ball flies. And he started to elevate it more. He's hitting it as hard as anybody over the last month. And the results have followed. With 2 on and nobody out, he takes strike 1.
So I feel like in this situation, it's an RBI. You've got guys on base, and as we mentioned earlier, Ryu exceptional with runners in scoring position. But I'm staying away. I'm running everything away to Desmond. If I come in, I'm in way off the plate, but I'm staying away.
Coming in, left it over the plate, and it's banged into right center for a base hit. Verdugo goes up with it. He'll go to third. Cut off by Taylor. Lambert steps on home, and the Rockies have taken a 2-1 lead. So Ian Desmond 2 for 2. Drives in his 40th run of the season.
I just feel like in an RBI spot right there as a hitter, that's if I'm getting something in that's a strike, I can shoot that thing to right. And as you mentioned, it got a big part of the plate. He didn't get in like he wanted to.
And already here, Eric, third inning, nobody out. Ryu's given up as many runs as he has in a game this year.
Well, we mentioned that he has not fared well against the Colorado Rockies in his career.
Ball 1 on Dahl.
And I understand that may have taken place early on in his career, but I remember playing. There were certain teams, affiliate. I could not hit against them. You could put a ball on a tee, and it just, I don't know if it was mental, if what it was, but I could not hit. And Ryu, again, this is uncharacteristic. Credit the Rockies. I mean, they've had good approaches. They've got a plan. Heck, Dahl, his last time up, I mean, he hit that ball. Bellinger made a heck of a catch at the wall.
David Dahl, a guy making a good case to go to the All-Star games. Top 10 in the league in average, on base and in slugging. He's ahead of Ryu here, 2-1.
And he's a guy that I feel is going to have to elevate things offensively while Story is out. And
hard
Trevor
to go much higher.
Right, it is, but I feel like he's got the ability to hit for more power, to be more of a threat, to be in the Story Arenado-Blackman conversation.
Wow, that one takes off on Ryu. And we've seen him before, Eric, go on some crazy stretches where he does carry the Rockies. Came back late last season in the month of September. David Dahl had 9 home runs and 27 RBIs in 24 games.
That's good.
That is really good. Included a stretch where he homered in 4 games in a row. On a 3-1 pitch, Dahl takes strike 2.
What a pitch. You know, that's a 3-1 pitch. He goes with the breaking ball, puts it in an unbelievable spot.
Big thing for Dahl is that he simply has been healthy. 2 seasons ago, missed the entire year. Multiple upper body injuries. Then last season, missed 2 months with a broken foot. And knock on wood, so far, so good for him here in 2019. Foul tips that one into the glove for strike 3. The third for Ryu. And 2 out in the 3rd.
And I like he went away from the hitter again. You know, and again, that's where he's going to be effective, staying away from the hitters. This is on the outer part of the plate. He had thrown a 3-1 breaking ball out there. You know, he got beat earlier on the Desmond pitch. He tried to go in, wasn't able to get in. I feel like he's having difficulty establishing that inner part of the plate on either of the hitters, righty or lefty.
I beg your pardon, obviously 1 out here in the 3rd inning. And Arenado's the hitter. RBI single his first time. Boosting his average against Ryu lifetime to around 600. I know you just talked about there are some teams, some guys that you just had no shot no matter what. This is the other end of that spectrum.
Right. Well, and that's a thing, and you wonder why. Is it a swing path matches up with this guy's play, or is it just a confidence issue? Where Arenado, you know, he feels like he's invincible against Ryu, and Ryu probably feels like, man, I can make any pitch against this guy, and he's getting the barrel there somehow.
First and second one gone. Here's a 1-1 pitch that backs him off of the plate, ball 2. I got to imagine it does become mental, because you're talking about feeling like against the Phillies you couldn't hit a ball off the tee.
Yeah, no, that it does. It gets mental, and the thing is, until you have any type of success, and talk about success. See, this pitch, it's not a terrible pitch. He doesn't want to be that much of the plate, but it's low, and Arenado still goes after it and gets it.
That was his RBI hit in the first inning. That's a swing and a miss on an up 88-mile-per-hour pitch, and it's 2-2.
I think I'm going away right now. I feel like Arenado is kind of setting him up for something inside. I mean, the way he's taking the pitches, like, oh man, they're way inside. Oh, I'm Ryu. I'm going away.
Martin sets the target in, and a cutter breaks in to run the count full.
But that's an excellent pitch, because that's in off of the plate. You know, it's not a pitch that, even if Arenado offers at it, it's a broken bat or it's a foul ball.
Now the payoff, a crack bat roller foul. Ryu's given up a couple runs today, but he's broken Charlie Blackmon and Nolan Arenado's bats. It's not easy to do.
I always felt that as a hitter, though, if somebody's breaking my bat, I'd much rather break the bat getting jammed or hitting it near the handle rather than hitting it off the end of the bat. I always felt like I could, if I was off the end of the bat, that meant I was out in front. It was very difficult to kind of pull back. Still, I'd go away. Oh.
Coming in again, runners go on ball 4. And the Rockies have loaded him up against Ryu. Only the 6th walk this season issued by Hyun-Jin Ryu. And so now, with the bases loaded, it's Daniel Murphy. And if Daniel Murphy hits a grand slam, you can get 30% off any Papa John's order tomorrow. As we say each week, I don't think that makes Dodger fans want
right.
A home run anymore. Rockies fans, yeah, double the reason to want it. Now Murphy in his career .451 hitter with the bases loaded. A couple grand slams on his resume, and he's been similarly good in these situations for the Rockies this year. Trying to break it open in the 3rd, but he hits a tapper to second for Muncy. To Taylor to first, a double play. Oh, he's safe at first as Peterson bobbles it. Emmel had punched him out and then saw the bobble from Jock Peterson, who's starting his 2nd career game at first. And it appears it's cost the Dodgers a run.
So, and these are some of the growing pains that the Dodgers are going to have to live with as Jock learns to play first base in game situations. You see how he tries to catch this ball. He's going to start with the glove up and then he turns it. And it's very easy. I mean, even when you're experienced over there, to get handcuffed. He's new. He doesn't know the flight of the ball from these guys that are throwing. And it's much different in a game situation than getting throws, you know, 3 hours before the game. Guys flipping, the game speeds up, the ball is moving. You've got people in the stands.
Netta taking strike 1.
I remember having conversations with Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell about catching throws from the pitcher. And I remember telling him, I said, man, I don't know about you, but sometimes I don't even know how I catch these balls. He goes, geez, EK, I thought I was the only one that felt like that. And it is a much more difficult position to play in an everyday situation than anybody could imagine. Gone are the days that, oh, just throw the guy over there. You have to be athletic defensively, and that just comes with experience there. And you can't knock Jock there. You can't.
2-1. Spoken by somebody who played this position in this ballpark. Both ballparks, right? Dodger Stadium and Coors Field.
Correct.
Notoriously difficult on first baseman.
Yes. I mean, Todd Helton, unbelievable job. The sun would set right in your eyes for the first 3 innings in Colorado. And you just look at, if the ball was hit to the third baseman or even in the hole of the shortstop, I mean, you might lose that fielder for a second, and then you got a ball coming at you. It's tough.
All that said, we talked about it early on. Ryu's benefited from exceptional defense around him, and 2 of the 3 runs scored today. And really, you could say all of them, if you include Taylor's play, have been partially influenced by poor defense. And it fouls it, and it stays at 2-2.
Well, and that's one of the things the Dodgers have been great at this year, is defense. And the irony of it is, you think about the versatility and, you know, the guys moving around, playing different positions. And, you know, 10, 15 years ago, you would have said, oh, there's no way that's going to work. That's a hindrance. But because of their positioning.
Broken bat roller to Turner at third. And the fire across to get it. Well, the Rockies get 2, taking advantage of the sloppy defense, and it's 3-1 for the last of the 3rd. Baseball night in America in Los Angeles to the bottom of the 3rd, where the Rockies lead the Dodgers 3-1. Joe Davis, Eric Karros, J.P. Morosi, and Alex Verdugo to open the 3rd against Peter Lambert. Rookie Verdugo takes ball 1.
So this is the big inning right now for Peter Lambert, because he's facing this Dodgers lineup for the 2nd time. This is the heart of the lineup. Your team is up 2 runs. You want to get back into the dugout as quick as possible.
Turner and Bellinger to follow. So he's going to have to earn it. The heart of the lineup coming up here. That's hooked to right towards the gap. It'll split it. Alex Verdugo has extra bases to open the third as the Dodgers look to respond against Lambert.
This Dodgers lineup is so darn deep, and they're so disciplined, and they're uniform in that they have a team plan, and it's really 8 guys versus 1, and it's the entire Dodger lineup. It's not, hey, a couple guys are going to try and swing for the fence, a couple other guys are going to try and foul off pitches. And when you have that as a pitcher, you can navigate. Here it's like I'm facing the same guy every single hitter, and they're all potent guys.
Turner takes strike 1.
That's an excellent pitch. That's that first pitch strike. It's not a pitch that any Dodger hitter is going to offer at.
We saw Lambert buckle down last inning. Dodgers had first and second, nobody out, nothing else scored. Try to do the same here. Ball and a strike on Turner. The Rockies need guys like Peter Lambert to be good. Right now, rotation is the worst in baseball, so that's the micro. The macro is it's really hard to get pitchers to be good at Coors Field. It's really hard to get free agents there. They need guys that they bring up through their system to blossom. It's 2-1 on Turner.
Well, and you know, one of the stories also in Colorado becomes Kyle Freeland. You know, this is a guy that, you know, top 5 in Cy Young Award voting last year. Counted on to be really their #1 this year. I think he throws tonight down in the minor leagues.
Ground ball towards the middle. That's through. Past the diving McMahon. Turner drives home Verdugo. The Dodgers back to within 1.
I mean, this offense is relentless, and you see that Turner shoots this ball up the middle. So at the very worst, Verdugo gets to third base with 1 out. And that's the thing about having a plan, being disciplined. And we talked earlier about Turner understanding what he's trying to do on every at-bat. He's rewarded there, hitting an RBI.
And it gets Bellinger to the plate. 3-2, bottom 3. Bellinger struck out his first time, and here takes strike 1. And look, Eric, the last 2 seasons, the Dodgers have had just about everything that the world champions have had. Losing to the Astros, then losing to the Red Sox. The thing that those 2 teams did that the Dodgers didn't is avoid strikeouts and put the ball in play. And that's where the Dodgers collectively have made the biggest jump this year.
Well, no better example than this man at the plate.
Ooh, that takes it low, and it's 1-1.
When you talk about the swings and misses, and we showed earlier his average with 2 strikes, 288. Again, putting the ball in play makes things happen, forces the other team to play defense. So 2-1 when he was behind in the count previously against Bellinger. He went to the changeup. Bellinger's probably got that in his mind.
Went to it again. Foul tip, 2-2.
Good location. I think Belly was sitting on that. Especially with the type of swing. He was sitting on the changeup as well he should have been. Just an excellent location.
Turner at first, nobody out. And the 23-year-old Cody Bellinger slaps it foul. Will do it again.
It's a good pitch by Lambert. Bellinger doing a nice job as he has all year. He gives himself another chance by fouling that ball off.
Another 2-2 pitch. Bellinger pops it up. Left center field for David Dahl. And Lambert's gotten him both times this afternoon.
Number 13, Max Muncy.
1-on-1 out. Up comes Max Muncy, who has extended his on-base streak to 31 games. With a double in the second, came in to score the Dodgers' first run.
And Muncy did a nice job. The pitch was a fastball away and hit it to left field. I imagine they're going to stay away again.
Nice changeup. Man, he's had that pitch working today.
No, he really hasn't. You know, that's how when you play against the Dodgers and they put out a left-handed dominant lineup, you got to hope that your guy on the mound has got a changeup, because that is the neutralizer.
For the former San Dimas High School Saint. Went 31-1 as a high schooler. As part of the #1 high school team in the country. Turner leads at first as Lambert delivers 1-1 to Muncy. And that's a high strike. 1-2.
See, and that's where Lambert has to live. He's, you know, the changeup just off the plate gets the hitters to go after it. That fastball is perfectly located for a strike right there. You know, now you've got Muncy. He's got to be aware of that inside fastball. That changeup is Lambert's pitch on the outer part of the plate.
Spins a breaking ball low and inside, and evens 2-2.
And then he throws a curveball at you. That's why hitting it is so difficult. You know, not only do you have to try to guess along with the pitcher, but then if you do guess right, then you've got to properly approach the ball and hit it. And so many things go into good hitting.
2-2.
So I feel if he throws a changeup here and it's out of the zone, he's in business. But if it's a changeup over any part of the plate, I think Muncy is going to. He's sitting on it.
Let's see. Another 2-2 pitch. Went to the fastball and missed inside. Full count.
That's a heck of a take right there. I don't know if that's a take because he didn't feel it was a strike, or it was a take because, whoa, it's off the plate.
Tying run at first base, one gone, third inning.
Got to be a change, right?
Let's see. It was. Muncy flied it to center for Desmond. It was a change, but it was well located.
Number 3, Chris.
Wasn't too many years ago he was pitching for the San Dimas Saints, about 30 miles from here at Dodger Stadium. And for more on his coming up at San Dimas, here's JP.
Joe, he would come here to Dodger games probably about 4, 5, or 6 times a year with his family. His brother Jimmy saying that really for him, as Eric mentioned earlier, this start probably even more emotional than that career opener at Wrigley Field. His parents actually, Joe, they went to the Game 1 of the 1988 World Series as well.
Yeah, Jim and Ann grew up in Pasadena. Family full of Dodger fans.
But you've got to ask the question. Were you here for the Gibson home run? Did you stay?
Oh, right. That's the big one. JP, do you know the answer?
I do. I spoke with Jim a short time ago, Joe. I can assure you the answer is yes. He said he was sitting up in the blues and watching those brake lights in the distance of all the people leaving. And as he told me, they all wish they were still in the ballpark.
You know, it's funny. I've never heard anybody say, "Yeah, I was in that car. I was one of those guys in the car."
We're still looking for that group of people.
One ball, one strike on Chris Taylor, who had a bloop single his first time. 3-2 game, bottom three. And the rookie Peter Lambert delivering a 1-1 pitch. Taylor couldn't lay off, and it's 1-2. He really is using everything.
Well, he has to. Like I said earlier, and we're all aware of this, the Dodger lineup is, you know, it's not just a potent lineup. It will work pitchers. I mean, you look at the pitch count right now, 66, and we haven't even gotten through 3 complete innings. And that's what they do. They just wear you down.
Fastball is punched into a leaping glove of Daniel Murphy. Heck of a play by Murphy, who has played mostly second base throughout his career. Over to first with the Rockies and taking a hit away from Chris Taylor to end the third. Sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by DirecTV, don't just kind of TV, DirecTV. 3-2 Rockies as Ryan McMahon takes ball one from Hyun-Jin Ryu. Well, the Rockies through 3 innings have scored more runs than anybody has in a game against Ryu this season. Fly ball right center. Very bright time of the evening. Bellinger with the shades down makes the catch. McMahon the first out. And here's the rookie Rogers.
Well, I mentioned Lambert's pitch count. You look at Ryu, 68. Really 3 1/3. I mean, he hasn't been all that efficient.
That last inning, EK, 33 pitches. That's the most he's thrown in an inning all year. Strike one. Rogers holding the fort down at shortstop for the Rockies for the time being, with Trevor Story down with a thumb injury. And it sounds like it is maybe not as bad, not as long term as some had feared initially.
Well, Bud Black mentioning to us that, you know, I said, well, after the All-Star break, and he thought maybe with some strengthening and see how it reacts, that he could possibly be back before the All-Star break.
Rogers to Muncy makes the play on a bounce. 2 out. Time for a game break now. We go to Mike Hill in the studio. All right, Mike. Nationals trying to win their 6th in a row. Lambert up there with 2 gone, takes ball 1. Could Washington come all the way back from the dead, well, similar to what the Rockies are trying to do?
Why Washington has a chance is that pitching staff. And they've got 3 horses in Scherzer, Strasburg, and Corbin. And that's where everything starts. And that's why you don't really aspire to be a wild card team, but with them and over in the American League, Cleveland, I mean, you're a wild card team and you've got the pitching. You could go win some series.
Lambert is 2 for 2 in his first game at Dodger Stadium. His family watching. Huge group of family and friends here from San Dimas.
I hope they didn't foot him with the bill for the sweep.
No,
you know, rookie guy, you know, I mean. Looks like he's got that shortstop thing coming back again. His days at San Dimas. Look at that.
Nice
head
swing.
Down. That is. Man, he's got to be excited. That's great. I mean, you love to see something like that. Kid coming back and pitching in his hometown, and 2 hits.
And he gets Blackman up there. First pitch curve for a strike. Blackman 0 for 2. Still trying to extend that on-base streak, which goes all the way back to May 1st and includes a quick stint on the IL for a calf strain. One. There's some that have said perhaps that quick IL stint was a good thing for him. We talk about the grind of the season.
Well, it's almost a refresher, and not so much physically as it is mentally.
Second time he's broken a bat against Ryu today. Taylor will throw him out and finish the Rockies in the 4th. July 9th. Rockies 3, Dodgers 2 to the bottom of the 4th. Rockies getting 1 in the 1st and 2 in the 3rd. Dodgers single runs in the 2nd and the 3rd. Leading off this 4th inning is a rookie, Matt Beatty, who is a 12th round selection of the Dodgers, and J.P. Morosi, yet another success story of their minor league system.
Joe, it really is incredible. You think about the tremendous resources of the Dodgers financially, and they do have the 4th highest payroll in Major League Baseball, but even more important, the most homegrown players of any team in baseball on their 25-man roster. You see it right there, 16 of them. The Rockies actually rank 2nd, but Joe, you and Eric touched on it earlier in the show, just how important it is to have that strong culture that allows these young players like Beatty to come in and thrive.
Last night's hero with a walk-off home run. He's got an RBI single here today and takes ball 1 from Peter Lambert.
Well, and I think culture is one of the things Andrew Friedman, when he took over this job here, is, you know, basically now he runs the Dodgers. You know, that was one of the things that he wanted to create. And then the hiring of Dave Roberts just really put a stamp on it a few years ago. I don't think there's probably a better person suited to manage this ball club, to create a culture. And, you know, it's taken a few years, but this is really as good of an environment as I've seen in many, many years. And it shows. I mean, it shows with the players, the way they approach things, the camaraderie, the success.
Beatty lofts one to right center field over Blackman's head, and his 2nd hit of the game. Blackman twirls and guns in, not in time, and Beatty's got a lead-off double.
You know, and this is just an example of another guy. You know, Beatty, you mentioned the game-winning home run last night, but here's a guy that, you know, he's done his time in the minor leagues. He's had success, and he's getting an opportunity. And you mentioned earlier, Joe, that, you know, when the Dodgers bring these guys up, because they are large market, because they are deep, you know, they're afforded the ability to bring guys up when those guys are ready, not just out of necessity, and he comes out and produces.
Dodgers have had the leadoff man on in all 4 innings against Lambert today. Bottom of the order here, Russell Martin. Lambert worked him away his first time up there. Martin lined out to first. Stays away here, but misses low.
Well, one of the things you have now, you've got the shadows that come into play as a hitter, and, you know, where that makes a difference as a hitter, you aren't able to decipher the spin on the ball. You know, off-speed pitches tend to play well. So here the discussion becomes, you know, what do we want to do here on 2-0? Do we want to try to go after Martin? Do we let him go down to first? You know, kind of nibble. We know Ryu is going to bunt. We get the out there. Maybe we get Q. Maybe we can get a double play there. Or Then we got first base open. We've got there's so many different things, and it's all predicated on, you know, how do we feel we can get these next few guys out? And maybe it all stems from, you know what, we're going after Martin right now. We need to get an out here, have Ryu up with one out.
How much of that does Lambert have a say in at this
Lambert
stage of his
has
career?
no say in it, right? I think it's more of what do you feel, what would you like to do? You give him that liberty, but I think Bud Black and Ionetta they'll decide.
They pick him off second. That will help the case of Lambert here in the 4th.
Or you go for the, all right, this is what we're doing here. We're going to try for a pick off a second. You know what the sign is. You know when I drop a finger or my glove, you turn and throw. I mean, the crazy thing is there that Lambert is looking at him the entire time.
And they say play on. So Peter Lambert picks off Matt Beatty.
So you see Lambert staring at him right now. He doesn't even look back at home plate. Yeah, that's a tough one. If I'm a runner right there and I get picked when I know that the guy's staring at me the entire time.
And our ground ball to short, Brendan Rodgers. High throw. And missing Trevor Story shows up again for the 2nd game in a row. There's a throwing error that led to a key run from Rodgers last night. Here it allows a 1-out base run.
Hey, you feel like Rodgers right there, he gets it, he takes his time, he just gets underneath the ball. You know, he just doesn't throw it. Murphy does a nice job of getting it. See, he just kind of shovels his feet and then just kind of pushes the ball. And you mentioned the second one, 2 nights, and what you don't want to have happen is it starts to become mental.
Ryu squaring early. And he bunts it foul. As good as Trevor Story is offensively, as much of a force as he is at the plate, he is as good as any shortstop defensively in the National League right now. And you ask a lot of the Rockies people, that is their bigger concern while they're without him.
Well, it really is. And you know, he's leading the league in runs scored as well. And they're going to miss him. You see on the other side of that graphic there, Corey Seager. The Dodgers are without.
Ryu lays this one down. Lambert with a look at second will take the sure thing at first.
You know, and prior to Seager's injury, he may have been one of the hottest Dodgers. Starting to really come into his own as far as getting his body back. He'd been out all of last year, coming off basically 2 surgeries. But that's, you know, with the Dodgers as good as they are now, you know, Seager and Pollock out in the outfield, you know, that's why Jock Peterson is playing first base. They want to see what does that look like. Because when those 2 come back, Pollock and Seager, they're playing.
And Pollock just signed to that long-term contract this offseason. Plug it back into center field when he's ready to go. Alex Verdugo's done what he's done and warrants time. So Jock trying to show that he can handle first. 0 for 1 tonight with a walk, and he takes ball 1 and a changeup.
Well, Jock's been able to get into hitters' count in his previous 2 at-bats. Just hasn't been able to do the damage he'd like. But he's put himself in a good position each time.
On 1-0, Peterson takes strike 1. .25 home runs in 3 of his first 4 full major league seasons. Already got 20 here in 2019. Martin at second, 2 gone, a 1-1 pitch that Peterson takes low and inside, ball 2.
Well, and when you're talking about pure power and just the ability to hit the ball a mile, and Jock Peterson's right at the top of the list of these Dodger players.
He's got 21 singles this year. and 20 homers. 21 singles, 20 homers. Two and one. Here it comes. And it's 2-2.
Pretty good rip there on a fastball. Good location by Lambert. I think you've got him set up for a changeup here. Again, if you run that thing off of the plate away. Mix in the shadows right now and the difficulty to pick that up. I think it makes all the sense in the world to throw that now.
Lofted to left field. David Dahl near the corner is going to have room. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. To the fifth we go with the Rockies in front 3-2, and Nolan Arenado due up in the fifth. Star starters election. You get to pick the starters. 3 players per position. 28 hours to vote, with the polls opening June 26th at 12 Eastern. You can vote at MLB.com/vote or search MLB Vote on Google. Ian Desmond pushes a bunt through the first one from Hyun-Jin Ryu, and it's 0-1. Desmond 2 for 2 in this game. 2 of the 5 hits for the Rockies. Scored 1, also drove 1 in. Once again, and behind 0-2.
Well, and you see where he's trying to bunt the ball. Headed towards first base and Jock Peterson. And there's a couple of things there. You know, is the second baseman going to be able to get to first base? Probably not where he was playing. You know, is Jock, you know, obviously no experience on playing the bunt play, not in a game situation. I like the thought process for Ian Desmond.
But now you find yourself with 2 strikes on you.
Well, that's because you weren't able to get the bunt down right. And you're probably thinking, hey, look at, I'm not seeing the ball too well with these shadows now. This might be my best opportunity. And you give something for Jock to think about. And this is something that's is going to be interesting to follow as well. Not only his play at first base, but how does that impact the offense? Because I'm telling you, that is, and I've seen it with a number of players.
That is a base hit to right.
Where you start to take the defense up at the plate with you. And you start thinking about things, and the defense starts to consume you because, look, nobody wants to do better at first base than Jock Peterson. And he knows that, you know, he's got a responsibility to the rest of the team, to the organization. You know, nobody feels worse about, you know, getting handcuffed and dropping that ball. But the two sometimes go hand in hand, the offense and defense.
David Dahl, the first pitch curve, landing in there for a strike. Oh, and 2.
You see Turner making his way into that short right field, or playing that hole between first and second baseman.
Our Ram heavy hitters tonight, and this part of the lineup really good. You've got 3 of the top 6 in the National League in batting average with Blackmon, Dahl, and Arenado. Those guys hitting 1, 3, and 4 in the lineup. David Dahl especially good over the last month, hitting above 370 over the last month. On another 0-2 pitch, he takes very high, ball 1.
So I'd almost double up right now. And what I mean by that, I'd go with a fastball inside here. I think as a hitter right now, you're thinking, okay, you just threw me up and in. Here comes the curveball right now. I'd double up. I'd go back up in there.
Instead, they toss to first. Peterson Gets it over there in time, and Desmond is out.
It's a nice play by Jock right there. It almost looked like a double clutch, but he gets inside, makes a good strong throw. So you see he doesn't get it clean. The other thing too as a first baseman, and as he becomes more experienced, you want to move towards the pitcher. Now it's interesting, Desmond, now this would be something maybe if I'm the Dodgers.
This call on the field is under review.
So they're going to call it. So Desmond starts on the outer part of the plate, or outside the base path. Then he runs into the grass part. Now the ball never hits him. So it almost looks like he gets that left foot in there.
Second base.
I'll tell you, Desmond just runs straight. He beats a throw. Not even close.
Got a little too cute.
He did a little zigzag. The thought process was right. You want to get in line to that throw. But going back to playing first base, it's not, hey, I'm going to put the big guy over there and let him stand at first and just catch balls. There's so many different nuances. And you only learn those things through experience. And that's playing games. I almost feel like he gets his left foot in there unless it's above the bag. We don't want to play that game here, do we? We're not going to play the let's call it before the umpires do.
You were right the first time. I just chose
maybe
to be different than you. Maybe you should play again.
Well, I think maybe I ought to retire on my perfect
Right.
record for
Drop the
today's
mic.
game. I've had a couple games this year where I was wrong every time.
Go out on top. Drop the microphone.
Well, Jock getting his getting all the different types of plays. You see the bobble, but a good strong throw, and you see how Desmond, he comes inside. Yeah, I feel like that left foot probably gets in there. I just don't know if there's a conclusive photo or a conclusive look. Because there isn't anything that all right, here I'm gonna put my record of 1-0 on the line. I'm gonna say that the call stands.
All right. Does he stay hot? The call stands, and you are undefeated.
2-0.
And so Desmond is the first out of this fifth inning. The count on Dahl at the plate is 1-2. This has been a weird game so far.
We're not even halfway through, Joe.
Nope, I checked. Fishes after this one, strike three. That is the fourth for Ryu, and two gone in the fifth.
Steady diet of curveballs. Showed that one fastball in around the chin just to kind of set him up.
So now Arenado, who has reached both times and continued his ownership of Ryu. RBI single in the first inning and a walk in the third. From nearby El Toro High School in Lake Forest, California. Cracks one foul. Look out.
I mean, what an uncharacteristic start for Ryu, right? 3 runs, the 1 walk.
Which is a ton.
I mean,
for him.
that's what I'm saying. It's just haven't seen this.
And 2. Ryu back home with an 0-2 pitch to Arenado, and that's very high. Ball one. And the pitch count for Ryu at 90 here in the 5th inning. He's one of the most efficient pitchers in baseball on the season at about 14 pitches per inning normally. It's around 20 today. On the 1-2. Lays off a high fastball, and it evens up 2-2.
You know, Arenado obviously sees the ball well against Ryu, evident by his success. You see that one inning, the 3rd inning, 33 pitches. But what's been impressive, Arenado, he stays off the pitches just on the borderline.
Digs this one out in the air to center field for Alex Verdugo. And that's that for the Rockies in the 5th. Finally halfway home at Dodger Stadium with the Rockies in front 3-2. Budweiser join the team that enjoys responsibly. Budweiser reminds you to drink wiser. Back in Los Angeles where the Rockies lead the Dodgers 3-2 to the bottom of the 5th inning. And Peter Lambert to face 2, 3, and 4 in the Dodger lineup. With Alex Verdugo crushing a ball right center field to tie the game. Ambushing the first pitch of the 5th. And it's 3-3.
Ton of energy is Verdugo, and what a player.
Now Turner taking a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Alex Verdugo, 23-year-old rookie, who has spent some time in the majors each of the last 2 seasons, very little amount. But he says finally really feels like he can be himself, and the production has followed. Turning down the line foul.
And you just made a comment where he can finally be himself. And I think that's a credit to the Dodger clubhouse, the coaching staff. I know he's become close to Russell Martin, who's kind of taken him under his wing. And he is, you know, he's an acquired personality. He's got a lot of energy. He's very excitable. He's flamboyant. You know, he's something that this Dodger club, you know, they need somebody like that, and he fits that bill, and he can play. You know, again, it's a credit to Dave Roberts and his ability to assimilate all these guys.
That's chopper to short for Rogers, who's had his issues with throws in this series. That one right on target for the first out of the 5th.
Now this is the first pitch, and it's a fastball right down the middle. And this is basically what makes this Dodger lineup so difficult. You see, he just absolutely crushes this thing. But they're not one of these teams that, well, I'm taking a pitch. They are looking to hammer the heck out of that first pitch if it's in their spot. And we've seen them take a number of pitches that are strikes in this game, but they're not in great hitters' locations.
Now it's Bellinger. First pitch curve is low.
And that's why it's so difficult to pitch against this ball club. You're a right-handed pitcher, they stack lefties against you. You're a left-handed pitcher, they've got the right-handed complement. The approach, very similar for each of the hitters. And I think a lot of credit has to go to the trifecta, the hitting group here, the hitting gurus. You know, RVS, Robert Van Scoyoc, Brant Brown, Aaron Bates. You know, what they've been able to preach, the process, the approach.
Boy, wanted that one. Falls behind Bellinger, now 2-1.
And see, that's the thing is, even if that's a strike, Bellinger's not going to offer at it. He's still got another strike left. You know, why go after something that he's not going to be able to do damage with? I mean, Lambert is pitching Bellinger like it is. The pitches he's making on him today are second to none.
He's retired him both times. His lone strikeout of this game was of Cody Bellinger in the first. Now a 2-2 pitch. And we'll do it again.
See the shift there.
Another 2-2. Bellinger swings and grounds one to Murphy at first. And Lambert has retired him all 3 times. What a confidence building thing for a young pitcher. Be able to get the MVP favorite all 3 times.
Well, it really is. And look at the fact that he's had 2 starts against the Cubs, that he's had to pitch against this Dodger ball club, and basically he's thrown pretty well. I mean, his defense has hurt him a bit. They haven't helped him, I should say. You know, he made the mistake, obviously, to Verdugo. But, I mean, that's no easy task. 3 of your first 4 starts.
Yeah. With 2 gone, it's Muncy who takes a ball outside.
And I think if I'm the Rockies, you know, he's been in some trouble, been able to navigate out of it. He's had some bad luck. He hasn't got some pitches. He's made some pitches. You know, he's basically dealt with every type of situation here in these first 4 2/3 innings.
Next pitch will be his 95th. It's a 1-1, and Muncy cues it foul, 1-2.
I mean, you start to think what the Dodgers are going to look like again with Pollock coming back, Seager at shortstop, and you could have guys that are 20 home runs on the bench.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
As they did during the postseason last year at times, with the way they platoon many players. 2-2 on Muncy, Cody Bellinger included. Bellinger didn't start against left-handed pitching down the stretch. Tie game, 5th inning, bases empty, 2 away, and Peter Lambert to Max Muncy to the 2-2 that misses outside.
That's a great pitch. Done a great job by Muncy to lay off that. Muncy had a great at-bat last night. Draw a walk ahead of Beatty, who hits a home run. But that's an excellent take.
The payoff. Muncy pops it to left. David Dahl settles under it, and that'll do it for the Dodgers in the 5th, but they have tied the game on the first pitch of the inning. Number 6 for the rookie Verdugo to the 6th and a 3-3 game. Sponsored by Samsung. Meet the next generation Galaxy S10. And by Miller Lite, great taste and only 96 calories. Tied at 3, 6th inning. Baseball night in America here in Los Angeles. Hyun-Jin Ryu at 90 pitches, back to work against Daniel Murphy, and he finds the corner with the first one. So it's Murphy, Iannetta, and McMahon coming up. And Peter Lambert's got to feel pretty good about his outing in this ballpark.
Well, he did a nice job tonight. Had a few hits, navigated himself out of some trouble, pitched against the deepest lineup and definitely the National League. He's got to be happy.
And he's matched the guy that is at this point most likely to start the All-Star game for the National League. 3 runs allowed by Lambert, 3 runs allowed by Ryu, who fires an 0-2 pitch, and Murphy pops it up out of play. Mentioned that his brother Jimmy is a pro pitcher as well in the White Sox organization, on the injured list right now, so he's able to come take this in. Both of them represented by Scott Boras.
Scott sitting there with the sweatshirt on. You know, Jimmy didn't get those seats.
No.
Those are in the front row.
Scott, why don't you come on down and sit with me in my dugout club seats?
They're the brothers.
And their agent.
There's Scott.
Murphy bounces it back to Ryu. And one gone here in the 6th. We go down to JP.
Yes, Joe. Jimmy Lambert for now is on the injured list in the White Sox farm system. That's why he's able to join his family here. All of his 4 siblings are here. Of course, Peter's on the mound. His 3 other siblings are sitting up in the suite. And when I spoke with Jimmy yesterday, Joe, he said that for the 2 of them growing up, their very best baseball memory ever was the ability to play together at San Dimas High School for that one season. Jimmy as the ace pitcher and Peter playing shortstop.
Both guys grew up watching the Dodgers, admiring Clayton Kershaw, admiring Zach Greinke. He was with the Dodgers for a few seasons. That's a strike on Iannetta. And so it has got to be some kind of pinch me moment for both of them today.
Right, you dream about something like this, never thinking that it's going to be a reality. And to come out, I think more than anything, what's impressed me the most is that he didn't let things get out of hand. Just the adrenaline rush, the butterflies, the angst, the nervousness. You know, he was able to control that. And he got himself into some situations that could have spiraled out of control, but he's done a great job. And I think he's got to be excited about the way he's thrown tonight.
We talked about it during the 1st inning, but that was what Bud Black had to say about him. The thing that he loves most is just the composure and how steady his personality is. Ryu to Iannetta with a 1-2 pitch that breaks in 2-2. Well, both pitchers running out of steam as far as the pitch count. Both bullpens getting going. Estevez and McGee for the Rockies. Double-barreled action for the Dodgers as well. Iannetta pushes it foul.
Well, both of them had to grind tonight. You know, it's 3 runs, and they've had situations where they were in peril, and it looked like it could be an explosive inning for either one of these guys, but they both made pitches when they needed to.
Got him swinging with a breaking ball. Ryu's 5th K.
Ryu using that breaking ball a lot tonight.
Yeah, only throws it about 10% of the time on the season, way down from previous years, but as much as we've seen it at any point this year. Here. Looking for the first 1, 2, 3 inning outside of the 2nd for either pitcher. Ryan McMahon 0 for 2 and ahead 1-0. McMahon's another Southern California guy. A powerhouse high school program, Modern Day in Orange County. Former top 100 prospect who came up in September of 2017 and then last year made his first opening day roster but really struggled. And so bounced back and forth between the majors and AAA. He had one of his signature moments though against the Dodgers, hitting home runs on back-to-back nights. You get the Rockies within a game of first place down the stretch.
No, and this guy has sick power. I mean, sick.
Spent the winter kind of reworking his swing. He'd struggled down the stretch last year hitting high velocity, which had always been a strength of his. Thought the swing had gotten too long though. It was a little bit too upright in his stance. Smacks this one on the ground deep in the hole. It's short. Taylor plants his feet and delivers a strike to get McMahon. To the bottom of the 6th we go in a 3-3 game. As the teams turn to the bullpens, and for the Rockies it is left-hander Jake McGee.
Only 13 games, as you see. 3 walks, 12 strikeouts.
On to face Chris Taylor. He misses with his first one all the way to the backstop. He missed much of the first 2 months with a knee sprain, Jake McGee did. He is the only left-hander in Bud Black's bullpen, which makes this a bit of an interesting spot to deploy him, because the top of the order is where the left-handers are in the Dodger order. 4 of the first 5, Peterson, Verdugo, Bellinger, Muncy, are the left-handers. That is a strike, and it's 1-1. You get Beatty, who's on deck, who is a left-handed hitter.
You know, but the thing about that is, you know, Bellinger, you know, he's hit left-handers pretty well this year, right? And so they probably feel like, look, we've got a better matchup with a right-handed pitcher. Look, you're just trying to get outs right now and keep this game close. Keep it tied.
Saw Kike Hernandez in the Dodger dugout preparing to pinch hit at some point. Beatty and Martin, and then the pitcher's spot. On the corner to get Taylor, 1 gone.
The fielder, Matt Beatty.
Well, with 2 strikes is to pitch it, you know, as a hitter, you've kind of got to go after. I mean, you see where this is. It's right on the corner. Iannetta pulls it over the plate. Pitcher you want it, as a hitter you don't want it.
Yeah, not a whole lot he could do. And so Beatty, less than 24 hours after his walk-off home run, has had another good day. RBI single and a double. Rolls this one off with a hands foul. Third base coach for the Dodgers, first season, Dino Ebel, over from the Angels. Dino's been wearing a mic for us today.
Filled many roles with the Angels. Bench coach, third base coach.
He's actually a former Dodger minor leaguer. Grew up in Southern California, dreaming of playing for the Dodgers. He's a good minor league player, but realized that probably had a ceiling in that regard, so went into coaching. And the dream became to make it to the Dodgers as a coach. And he did here in 2019, 20 years later, 30 years later.
I got to tell you, I played with Dino in the minor leagues. And I always, you know, affectionately, every time I see him, Coach Ebel. And the reason I call him Coach Ebel is because while he was still in the minor leagues and while we're all trying to chase that dream, they made him a player coach. He was like, wait a minute, player coach? I'm still trying to play. I don't need the coaching part here. But it turned out to be a premonition of what he would eventually do and how he would get to the big leagues.
McGee's got back-to-back Ks out of the Rockies bullpen. 2 gone in the 6th, and here's a little bit of Dino mic'd up.
Come on! Come on! Stay right here. Nice.
Bad read right there.
It's all right. Still got nobody out. Tag! Go, go, go!
Up and the Dodgers get home their first run of the game back in the 2nd. 3-3 in the 6th as Russell Martin hits one on the ground to short. Brendan Rodgers up with it. And Jake McGee with a 1-2-3-6. After the Dodgers took game 1 of the series last night, Rockies trying to even it up, and Rockies trying to come back from the cellar. They started the season 3-12. That was the worst record in baseball. Since then, though, 37-23. Only the Dodgers have been better in the National League during that span. And in the very crowded middle part of the National League West, and in a very crowded National League in general, the Rockies have pulled to the front of the wild card discussion.
Well, you look at the Dodgers, yeah, right. I mean, the best records in baseball this season, and I don't see any reason why the Dodgers would regress. If anything, they may even get better. With Pollock coming back, Seager, I think they do something at the trade deadline. But with this Rockies ball club, I believe they'll be a wild card participant. I do believe that they'll be in the postseason. You know, barring any more injuries, you can't. You know, you'll be able to withstand the Story injury as long as that's something that only lasts until the All-Star break. But I like this ball club. I really do. You know, Dahl adds some things. The pitching, I think, will get better. The bullpen's been pretty good.
Amy Garcia fresh into the game. 0-2 to Brendan Rodgers is in the dirt. They got to make a trade or two for starting pitching, don't they?
Well, so everybody does, right? And I think that they're a team that, whether it's a starter or somebody deep in the bullpen, you know, I don't think you just go out and get a guy that throws every fifth day, because you put that type of person in Colorado. I mean, you know, is it really worth it? And I think there's going to be such demand for that type of pitcher, as far as, you know, a top level. Doesn't have to be an A+ guy, but there's so many teams that are going to want that.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like Colorado is going to be willing to pay that price.
2-2 on Rodgers. Garcia comes back home and gets it looking. So Rodgers 0 for 3 tonight, 1 gone in the 7th. And a pinch hitter in Peter Lambert's, or now Jake McGee's spot in the order, Raimel Tapia.
Bud Black giving the signal. There's Tapia.
Garcia's going to get just the one hitter. Dave Roberts back into the bullpen. In a 3-3 game in the 7th. This is sponsored by IBM. Let's put smart to work. All tied up at 3, 1 gone, 7th inning. The new pitcher for the Dodgers is Caleb Ferguson against the pinch hitting Raimel Tapia, who swings and misses at a fastball, and it's 0-1.
Well, Ferguson been up and down. Really a workhorse. Has even started some games. Did that last year.
It's a really important piece for the Dodgers last season out of that bullpen. They're hoping that he can get back to his 2018 form. Tapia, the 25-year-old, was huge for the Rockies when Blackman was down, hitting leadoff. Waits on a breaking ball and serves it to left field and deep. Back goes Beatty. It's carrying and gone. It just kept on going, and Raimel Tapia has broken the tie with a pinch hit home run.
Tapia just, he lets his ball travel and just drives this thing out to left center field. You know, this, well, I shouldn't say it because I'll sound like old guy talk, but the ball is flying this year.
Yeah.
It is flying.
Well, the fact that you preface it by saying I don't want to sound like an old guy means you don't sound like an old guy. You're good.
It's like I am an old guy and I'm sounding like an old guy, but you know, Dodger Stadium never used to give up something like that.
Blackman with 1 gone and the bases empty takes a little bit outside, ball 1.
But credit to Tapia. I mean, the fact that he's been sitting on the bench all game, he comes in, has to face a lefty. You know, it really is a great job of hitting as he does let this ball travel.
Blackman sharply to Muncy. 2 out.
So as we take a look at this, you know, and it's an off speed. It's out. You know, it's high. They didn't want it high, but you look at where he makes contact there. Drives this thing to left center. I mean, there really wasn't a question. I mean, that's a row deep.
Yeah.
That's a great at bat. Great at bat.
A native of the Dominican Republic. Desmond comes up with 2 gone. The Rockies in front 4-3. Tapia was always one of the smaller kids coming up in the Dominican, and so a lot of scouts were scared off, even though he could always hit. The guy that eventually signed him remembers the tryout where he knew that there was no question. They had to sign him. besides the fact that he was hitting bullets against the best pitchers, spraying the ball all over, every time he stepped in the box, he'd point his bat right back at the pitcher. And so even though he was one of the smaller guys, always overflowing with confidence, and that scout was sold, and so were the Rockies.
That's 90% of the battle in this game, is believing that you're capable of doing something.
1-2 on Desmond.
If you don't believe you can do it, why should anybody else believe in you?
Dodgers yet to retire Desmond today. 2 singles and a double for the Rockies center fielder. On a 1-2 pitch. Misses spot badly, and it's 2-2. State Farm covering the bases. Looks at what Ian Desmond's done the last couple weeks. We mentioned really the last month and a half. He's been at his best as a Rocky, but he's taken it to a whole different level lately.
Man, that's the thing. You know, you couple that with Arenado, Blackman, Dahl.
That's bounced gently third base side. They've got no play, and Desmond's got a 4-hit night.
Boom, you see, he starts out Ryu, and then he's aggressive, gets to second base, and Muncy unable to hold the ball. And here he fights this one off for an RBI, shoots that into center field, and look at this, just slaps the ball, line drive to right. And you know, here this one, and really they have no play. I'm surprised Ferguson even picks up the ball. You got to let that thing just eventually stop and hope it stops somewhere foul. Probably wasn't going to go foul, but no reason to pick it up.
So 4-hit game for Ian Desmond for the 8th the Rockies have today. It's David Dahl to the plate with 2 gone. So that one gets by Martin. Up to second goes Desmond. Not just his first 4-hit game of the season, but his first 4-hit game in a Rockies uniform in his 3 years there.
See, that ball gets away from Martin. Desmond very alert. 2 outs, gets down at the scoring position.
JT Chagua warming. Down the left field line, foul. It is really up and down this Rockies lineup. Staggeringly hot hitters. Got Dahl, who's top 10 in the league in all the triple slash lines. You've got Desmond hitting over 400 over these last couple weeks. Charlie Blackman doing what he's doing. It's not even to mention Arenado. Ferguson to Dahl with a 1-1 pitch. Two and two.
Does really have good stuff. A good downward plane. Get it up there about 94, 95. And as you mentioned it, you know, Dodgers really hoping that he can help add to this bullpen. I think it's been discussed a lot nationally. I know that, you know, if there is a weakness and there is a place for improvement, it's in the Dodger bullpen. Doc, they're talking about where can this club get better? And really, he said it's a very complete team. But I think everybody is always looking for pitching, bullpen help. You can never have enough.
Pretty good relief market out there. You're hurting if you're looking for a starter, but the relief market has some good options. Problem is everybody thinks they're still in it.
Well, that's the problem is you don't know how many sellers there are going to be, and you're going to have a ton of buyers.
Got him swinging with a curveball to finish the Rockies off in the 7th. But they've retaken the lead on a home run from Raimel Tapia. And we stretch at Dodger Stadium. Rockies 4, Dodgers 3. All forms of baseball and softball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everyone. Find a youth organization near you. Go to playball.org. Raimel Tapia broke the tie with a pinch hit home run. Stays in the game in left, and that moves David Dahl from left to center. Ian Desmond comes out as part of a double switch with Brian Shaw on to handle the 7th. Kike Hernandez pinch hitting and taking strike 1.
Shaw really struggled last year. This year, a little more stable. His bullpen's been a lot better.
That's a pop-up left side of the infield. Arnado makes the catch. Time for a quick game break. We say hello again to Mike Hill.
31, Jock Peterson.
That's a scary thing.
He dropped the Eric.
Yeah.
So I'm always, Mike's a big Yankee fan. Big Yankee fan. Yankees can do no wrong. I think they win the division there. I don't disagree with that at all.
Jock Peterson takes ball 1.
But they are a starting pitcher short.
Agreed.
At least one starting pitcher short.
Luis Severino, who knows?
Right. I don't think you can count on him.
Okay.
Right. I don't. Herman down. I mean, their best guy is Tanaka, right? And you look at, you're going to run against the Sale Verlander. I mean, I'm sorry, the Verlander Cole, the Sale Price, possibly.
You think the Astros are the team to beat?
Astros are the team to beat. I mean, again, assuming everybody's healthy, Springer should be back soon. Correa is going to be an interesting one. But that bullpen, great. The top 2 starters, arguably the best 1-2 punch.
That is a base hit to right for Peterson. And the Dodgers have the tying run aboard here in the 7th.
Center fielder number 27, Alex.
So now it's Alex Verdugo, who in the 5th inning hit a game-tying home run. And here it is on Statcast, powered by AWS.
They see the exit velo. 104. Absolutely gets a hold of that thing. Hit a double earlier in the game. Got the forearm bash too.
Rockies 4, Dodgers 3, bottom of the 7th. Rockies now trying to hang on and snap a 9-game losing streak against LA. First one to Verdugo is popped into shallow center field. Rogers back to make the catch. Back to the bag goes Peterson, and Verdugo's out number 2.
Nice athletic play by Rogers. And you can see they're in a shift. Kind of takes a few steps in, and then the ball just keeps floating away. Does a good job of keeping his eye on it. And Peterson, he was doing a nice job. He was about halfway, where if Rogers wouldn't have caught it, would have been able to get to second base. Seeing Rogers kind of grimacing a little bit. His right knee.
Rockies can't have that.
No. No.
Already down Trevor Story. 2 out, tying run at first, go ahead run at the plate. It's Justin Turner, who is 1 for 3. And the first one from Shaw, he sends it foul. The Dodgers 7-2 on this current homestand. Got the best record in the majors, best record in the National League by 7.5 games over the Atlanta Braves. But they trailed this one 4-3. Shaw's 0-1 pitch. There's Trevor Story. Again, shouldn't be too long, them spraining that thumb. He missed the end of his rookie season with a thumb injury, but it's sounding like this one not nearly as bad. Peterson off of first as the 0-2 comes home, and Turner takes it in the dirt, ball 1.
You know, the thing about it, you know, it's on the right hand, so you wonder throwing and obviously the hitting. I mean, and that's where he's so impactful. And again, a great defensive player, can run the bases. You see him, he's got something in his hand where he was squeezing something, a little green ball. And again, he's probably constantly doing that. Got the water bottle there, too.
Two and 2. This is a slide on Wednesday in Arizona where he injured that thumb.
The dreaded head first, right? No, but this was just into the base. He knows immediately. But they really did dodge a bullet. And as far as nothing being torn or ligament damage. You know, they say a sprain. Everybody thinks, oh, it's just a sprain. What's a, you know, sprain is, it's, you know, it's a slight tear. It's, and again, no matter what it's called, if it's painful, it's painful.
Rockies by run in the 7th. Peterson at first, 2 gone, and a 2-2 to Turner that he can't lay off of, corkscrewing himself into the ground for strike 3, and on to the 8th. Colorado 4, Los Angeles 3. The year, July 20th, the legend Manny Pacquiao faces Keith one-time Thurman for the World Welterweight Championship. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, live on pay-per-view. It's July 20th. In a 4-3 game, we move to the 8th, and Dylan Floro comes out of the Dodger bullpen to face the heart of the Rockies order.
Sinker, slider guy. Little change there. Gonna get it up there around 94. Got the win the other night against the Giants.
This is with his first pitch to Arenado. Arenado today, an RBI single and a walk against Ryu. Flips this one foul, and it's 1-1. This guy, 3 consecutive seasons, has finished top 5 in MVP voting. Leading the league in home runs last year with 38, driving in 110. Also saw the walk rate go up, continues to add different pieces to his game. And those that know him best say that it has to do with how hard he works. He is never satisfied. Chops this one softly to Turner at third. And Arenado, the first out of the 8th.
Well, he hasn't won an MVP award yet, but if you said who's the MVP over the last 3 seasons or 4 seasons, make a pretty good case for him being the answer.
The Rockies signed him long-term, $37 million a year through 2025, although there is an opt-out after 2021. But still, there were a lot of people that figured he would hit the free agent market. It came as a surprise to many outside of Denver and even outside of the front office of the Rockies. that he did that deal before he reached free agency.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were anticipating maybe a return to Southern California. But, you know, there's something to be said about being familiar with an organization. This is where he grew up as far as Colorado, and you're comfortable there. They're going to be competitive. Who's to say, right? And the thing about it too is when you can't put a price on being comfortable. You can't put a price on, you know, being you know, knowing an organization. There have been a lot of guys that have chased the money and it hasn't turned out well for the career. And they may have made the money, but they were miserable.
Now, Nolan has said that his goal initially was to get a one-year deal done in arbitration, but the final thing, the final box for him to check was to be convinced that the Rockies were committed to winning right now. And once he felt that they were, that's when he said, let's do this. Murphy leaves it up, and it's 2-2.
The reality, though, you know, it's tough to win in Colorado. It is tough. And it's tough just because of, you know, what you're dealing with. You're dealing with whether it's the developing pitchers, playing a season at that altitude, being in a division with the Dodgers or the Giants that have the resources. You know, the Padres are up and coming. The Diamondbacks. Colorado is going to have their work cut out for them.
Murphy down on strikes. Up comes Chris Iannetta, and we check in again with JP.
Well, Joe, earlier today, Daniel Murphy gave me, I thought, one of the best bits of praise that you could ever hear a player give a teammate, which was Nolan Arenado is unwavering in his commitment to never give away a pitch offensively or defensively. He engages with every single pitch, and you see now the result with an incredible performance.
And one of the best in the game. A 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Floro. Bellinger puts that one away, and it will be Cody Bellinger to lead off the Dodger half of the 8th for the Rockies in front 4-3. Bottom of the 8th inning, Cody Bellinger coming up, and our bounty powerful cleanup hitters across baseball. Bellinger and Yelich engage in a good battle for National League MVP. And again, it is Mike Trout, ho-hum, doing his thing. One of the best the game has ever seen. So here's Bellinger taking ball 1 from Brian Shaw. There's a home run against Shaw in his career. Has 25 this season, including last night. On this 1-0 pitch, Bellinger takes ball 2.
Well, how about this, too? Yelich, 17 stolen bases, leading the National League. Oh, Bellinger there. Cody's got 8. Mike Trout not running like he once used to. It just shows that not only are they hitting the home runs, but athletic guys.
All leading their team. That is by Murphy and down the line. Bellinger busting out of the box. Blackman's throw not in time, and Bellinger starts the 8th with a double.
Oh, we just got done talking about the speed. This ball is absolutely ripped here. You know, Murphy would like to have made that play, obviously. Look at, if you're doing anything, maybe you're trying to body up on that, get in front of it. I'm not sure that you really want to do it, but. And you see Cody, the minute he sees that ball get by Murph, he's thinking 2 all the way.
You're just talking about the combination of power and stolen base ability from those 3 guys. Bellinger is the fastest player on the Dodgers, and not much of a chance for Blackman. So the tying run in scoring position, and Max Muncy stands in. Ball 1. And while the Rockies bullpen has been much better this season overall, it has not been a good last week and a half or so. They were a disaster against the Padres in that crazy series last weekend at Coors Field.
Well, and that's where you talk about the residual effects of games at Coors. You know, that was a 4-game series that, I mean, the offensive numbers spit out record breaking. And the group that took the beatings were the bullpens of each of those teams. Again, it is, they move on from that weekend series. You know, those guys' arms, I mean, they were beat down.
The biggest issue, at least for the time being, for the Rockies is at the very back end of things. Their closer, Wade Davis, really struggling in that stretch we're talking about. Two balls, no strikes on Max Muncy. Tying run in scoring position, 8th inning. Shaw delivers, and Muncy takes a strike at the top of the zone. It's 2-1. Muncy has extended his on-base streak to 31 games. Blackman 0 for 4 today, still sitting at 31. Caught on and missed, 2-2.
Shaw's made some nice pitches, both in the corner of the zone, but the higher part as well.
Full count.
And you can see he's trying to keep everything elevated against Muncy. Almost think right now he's going to go with something up and away.
On a payoff pitch, Muncy swings and sprays it foul. Will do it again.
That thing, the lower part of the zone, got a good part of the plate too.
Muncy, since putting on a Dodgers uniform at the beginning of the last year, has 9 home runs against the Rockies.
Well, just the at-bats that he puts on pitchers. You know, whether it ends in a home run or a walk or fouling off pitches. Everything's a battle.
Ground ball up the middle. Rogers able to get there, and he throws Muncy out, 1 gone. Tying run moves to 3rd.
And that's a great at-bat. Ends up moving Bellinger over to 3rd. It's obviously not what he would have liked as far as wanted to be greedy and drive the run in. Fought off some pitches and passing the baton to the next hitter, Chris Taylor,
who has success against Shaw in his career. 2 for 4 with a pair of walks, and one of the 2 hits is a homer. Taylor 1 for 3 today. Tying run at 3rd, 1 gone, 8th inning. Shaw delivers, and Taylor takes a rip and misses. Strike 1.
As a hitter, you're looking for something to the big part of the field, meaning as a right-handed hitter, you're looking to drive something to right center, looking for something up in the zone.
Boy, had one to hit there.
This is kind of where you spread out. You've got that infield in. Almost crowd the plate a bit.
Oh, 0-2 on the guy that struck out more than any player in the National League last year.
I gotta go with a slider down and away.
That's where the target is set, but a fastball, and he got a piece to stay alive. Chris Taylor particularly hot lately. 8 of his last 15. Couple home runs, couple doubles during that stretch. Playing every day at short for Corey Seager. Got a chance to tie it here in the 8th. Another 0-2 pitch. Taylor takes it down and away on that slider, and it's 1-2.
Nice job by Iannetta. Something soft away. Soft away, even out of the zone. 1-2. You want to use the hitter's aggressiveness against him.
Went hard away, and it's 2-2. Most pitches Brian Shaw has thrown in a game this year, 37. On a 2-2, Chris Taylor swings away, lofts it down the line, but that'll reach the seats, and it stays 2-2. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by USAA, insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. And by Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
What do you say? Do you get cute and try and sneak something inside?
Certainly be a change from the plan so far.
Right.
It's been all away to Taylor, but they are coming in here with a 2-2. He wanted to come in, missed away, and it was fouled.
Iannetta set up inside off the plate. Shaw ends up throwing a strike on the outer part of the plate. That'd have been a great pitch if you were setting up away.
8th pitch coming up here. Infield still in. Tying run at third. 2-2. Inside, and the count is full. On deck, Matt Beatty.
The hero from last night.
On a payoff pitch. Taylor swings and misses, strike 3. Shaw able to win the battle on 9 pitches. And he's an out away from getting out of this jam, with the Rockies still in front.
Best pitch in baseball, the backup breaking ball. You see that thing never breaks. It almost backs up. That's why they call it the backup breaking ball. As a hitter, you're trying, you're looking, you're expecting it to move away. It doesn't. Taylor swings through it.
You're talking about Matt Beatty playing hero last night. Second career home run was a walk-off home run. Got another RBI hit in this game. He is a ridiculous 8 for 16 in the majors with runners in scoring position.
Brian Shaw 1 out away from getting out of this with the leadoff double to Bellinger.
Jam shot, left center. Tapia plays it on a bounce. The rookie Beatty comes through again, and the game is tied in the 8th. And that is going to do it for Brian Shaw. 4-4 game in Los Angeles. Down to their last out here in the 8th. Matt Beatty fights one off and drops a game-time base hit into left field. 4-4 here in the 8th.
Well, aggressive on the first pitch and doesn't hit it squarely, but very effective. Just fights that thing off, and as you mentioned, that's an RBI, ties a ball game, and 2 big hits. 2 nights.
Yeah, and the Budweiser game summary. Locked at 4. The game has gone back and forth. The Rockies have not trailed. So the Dodgers responding to each lead that the Rockies have taken. So 4-4, bottom of the 8th. The inning's still going. And Carlos Estevez comes on to face Russell Martin.
Fastball, slider, and he's going to get it up there. 97, 98 miles an hour. Going to throw you a slider as well.
Tony Walters in the game to do the catching here. Martin today is 0 for 3. Yeah, behind here 0-2.
They're not messing around. 96, 97. Hard, harder, and maybe hardest right here.
Oh, 2. Yep.
His hardest. 98. All right, here comes the slider, I'm guessing.
499.
I don't know. I'm going with the slider, I think, here. 99, though, that would, as a fan, that would be neat to see.
Yeah. Beatty leads at first as Estevez comes home 1-2. Martin with an awkward swing. Slaps it foul. He did get 89.
There you see he has hit a home run off Carlos in the past.
Leaves it up 2-2, 100. He skipped right over 99.
I think I got to go with a fastball again. I don't even want to mess with the slider and not make the pitch, hang it or something.
2-2. Stuck with a heater. Fouled back.
Everybody.
Rockies will be at the bottom of their lineup coming up.
Another 2-2, and Martin rolls it to short for Brendan Rodgers, who shuffles into the throw and ends the inning. But the Dodgers have tied it, taking advantage of Bellinger's leadoff double with a rookie Beatty driving him home. For the 9th inning, tie third of the Rockies order against Kenley Jansen. His first pitch tonight is to Ryan McMahon, and it misses, ball 1. Jansen, somewhat of a concern for the Dodgers. We talk about the bullpen being an issue. Home runs have been an issue for Jansen. He's given up 5 of them this season. He's given up runs in 2 of his last 3 outings. Here's his 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
He's blown 3 saves this year, but he's still second in the National League. He's got 22 of them. Behind Kirby Yates down in San Diego. You know, I think what worries the Dodgers is the drama as far as, you know, when he gives it up, it's a home run. It's a, you know, the other day against the Cubs, they've got a lead. Rizzo hits a 2-run home run. You know, and that invincibility that he had for so many years, it's not there, but he still gets the job done. And it's just the toughest thing as a closer is when you lose, when you've got your closer out on the mound, it is so deflating. There's no worse loss because you feel like, yeah, we've done so much, we've got it, we've got our guy out there, and then it's, oh. And you know what's gone on in the postseason the last couple of years, and you know, it just, you want something that, hey, look, I know that he's going to go out and just shut it down.
2-2. And in 17, during the regular season, he did. That's one of the greatest seasons we ever seen from a closer. Not quite as good last year. He was still an all-star, but he dealt with the heart issues. That was in the second half of the season. First half of the season, some lingering effects of a hamstring injury during spring training and a slow build-up that spring. Another 2-2 pitch. Man spoils another.
Well, I think for me, you've just got to find somebody that is going to be able to complement him or fill that role every once in a while and not ask him to do so much. And the Dodgers were hoping that Joe Kelly would be that guy, and he may still be that guy. He's got the arm, there's no question. You know, but he's fallen on hard times. He hasn't been able to get into a rhythm yet.
McMahon shoots one to left field that sends Beatty towards the corner to catch it 1 out. Go back the last decade, though. Kenley Jansen has been one of the top relief pitchers in baseball. Trailing just Craig Kimbrell in the saves category. Joining the Cubs in the not too distant future.
You just think about, you know, the great seasons that he's had. But you couple that with, you know, the great thing the Dodgers have been in all these postseasons. But that's an extra month and a half of work for Kenley. And that takes its toll. That's more work, that's less rest, that's more wear and tear. And the reality is, you know, over time, you know, physically you're going to, you know, lose some things. You're not going to, you know, he's not throwing 94, 95. He doesn't have the same things. He has to pitch more. He doesn't have the room for error. And it happens to everybody. It happens to all the great ones. But for me, he's still in the National League. You know, you're going to Yates. I mean, I get it, but that's San Diego. He's having a nice year, but I'm taking Kenley 100 out of 100 times.
Go pop fly, center field, Verdugo. 2 up, 2 down. And he's coming out here throwing strikes in this outing, retiring McMahon and Rogers, and now Tapia, whose home run put the Rockies in front in the top of the 7th. But a short-lived lead with the Dodgers tying the game in the bottom of the 8th.
Tapia got that breaking ball from Ferguson, drove it over the left center field wall.
Here it is.
Yeah, nice job of staying back, letting that curveball travel, and just explodes on it.
And he knew it. He saw him raise his hand as soon as he left the box. Here on a 1-0 from Jansen, Tapia swings and misses, and it's 1-1.
That's a nice pitch by Kenley. It's that cutter up and in, right on the corner of the strike zone. Very tough for a left-handed hitter to get to that pitch.
It's fouled in 1 and 2. For the Dodgers in the bottom of the 9th inning, they'll have a pinch hitter. And then back to the top of the order, Jock Peterson, Alex Verdugo. Ray Davis down there getting ready for the 9th. It was Estevez that finished the 8th. They're set for the 1-2. Tapia grounds one up the middle. Turner circles around it. Throws on the move to get him. To the bottom of the 9th we go. The Dodgers looking for their 2nd consecutive walk-off win.
Sweet summertime.
Red Sox play the first game in Europe for Major League Baseball. Live from London next Saturday, 12:30 Eastern on Fox. Back here at Dodger Stadium, bottom of the 9th inning, tied at 4. And it's the 9-hitter, pinch hitter, Kyle Garlick leading this off against Carlos Estevez. They got a walk-off home run from a rookie in Matt Beatty last night. They got a rookie here in Garlick leading off the 9th. He takes a fastball for strike 1.
And Garlick had a heck of at bat the other night against Madison Bumgarner. Saw a ton of pitches and then eventually lined one down the left field line for a home run.
Swings and misses at 98, and it's 0-2.
God, you got to love this kid's arm. I mean, just comes in and right at you.
Peterson and Verdugo to follow Garlick. Dodgers have 4 walk-off wins this season. And he's down on strikes. 3 pitches, all fastballs from Estevez.
First baseman number 31, John Peterson.
Well, Jock Peterson, this was many Mondays ago against the Cincinnati Reds. Back on April 15th, a walk-off home run, first of his career. One of the 20 home runs he's hit this season, and he comes up here with 1 gone in a tie game.
Well, and this is power against power, and he can catch up to any type of fastball. Be interesting to see if he doesn't see a few sliders here.
Peterson today 1 for 3. On the first pitch, he takes a fastball away. It's 1-0. Got a fastball for a strike and took it. 1-1. Dodgers trying to extend the best record in baseball. 52-25 right now. Trying to win their 10th in a row against the Rockies. As Peterson takes another fastball, this one perfectly placed, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, 98 in a perfect spot. And again, Peterson and many of the Dodger hitters, you know, they will get to 2 strikes. They are looking for a pitch to do damage with.
Bouncing ball, base hit for Peterson. Takes 98, pulls it into right. The winning run reaches here in the 9th.
I'm telling you, velocity doesn't do anything to him. Doesn't matter how hard he's throwing. This kid right here, tough to strike out. I mean, you know he's going to make some sort of contact. And you got the left center field is wide open right now. Big part of the field.
Double and a home run already today for Verdugo, his 6th of the season. Peterson leads at first as Estevez comes home, and it's hit foul, strike 1. Well, the Dodgers 3 walk-off home runs this season. We showed Peterson's. The other 2 are from rookies. Beatty's last night, and Will Smith, who's back in AAA right now, hit one a few weeks ago. Rookie Verdugo hits one to right, back-to-back base hits. And the Dodgers have him at first and second with 1 gone in the 9th. And Wade Davis still hanging out down in that bullpen as Estevez tries to work his own way out of this. Here's Turner.
Well, the Dodgers right now don't care how hard he's throwing. Peterson, now Verdugo.
And on deck is Cody Bellinger. Well, how badly does Estevez want a ground ball double play here?
And that's the thing about this lineup is they just keep coming at you, one after the other, after the other.
Turner swings and misses, strike one. Garlick struck out to open the inning, then back-to-back hits Peterson and Verdugo. On an 0-1 pitch, Turner swings and misses again. This time 99 from Estevez, and it's 0-2.
98, 99, 2 fastballs by Turner. I've got to throw another one. I can't even mess around.
Turner, one of the best 2-strike hitters in baseball. Chased it up, strike 3, 2 gone. And Estevez did just stick with a heater, reaching back for 99 to retire Turner. And so it's up to Cody Bellinger. But Black coming out.
I mean, it's almost pick your poison, right? You got Bellinger up at the plate. You got Muncy on deck. I mean, look, I guess I'm trying to be careful with Bellinger, but what is that?
Yeah.
Right, there's another word. Be careful. Don't give him anything good to hit. Well, I mean,
obviously, Skip.
Right? That's just so tough of an ask here.
Well, Wade Davis is no longer even throwing in that Rockies bullpen. Whether that's because he's warm and ready to go if they ask him, or if this is Estevez's game. We'll see. So Bellinger, who's done just about everything for the Dodgers this season, a chance to win it with 2 gone in the 9th. Takes ball 1 on a slider.
Right? I mean, you're throwing 98, 99 to everybody. And you're thinking, you know, I'm not sure that 98, 99 is really the right pitch for this guy. And this year it certainly isn't.
Peterson, decent speed. The 1-0. Foul tipped 1-1. So back-to-back sliders from Estevez.
Yep. See Bellinger, that short stride. Saw something he liked right there.
On this 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Swings and misses at the first fastball that he sees, and Estevez is a strike away from getting out of it. Very high, ball 2. You going back to the slider?
And I just saw him swing through a fastball. I've shown him a couple sliders. I think I'm going to go with a fastball. I think he's seen too many sliders for me. 2.
Went fastball, not close. Count goes full. And the crowd comes to its feet.
I'm going a fastball out of the zone. Hope Bellinger gets caught up in the moment.
He struck him out with 99. And Estevez able to get out of the 9th inning jam, striking out Bellinger. Four game. And Pedro Baez on to pitch for the Dodgers. Facing the top of the Rockies order here. Baez has become one of the more reliable arms in Dave Roberts' bullpen.
Fastball, slider, change. Really likes the changeup. Going to get that fastball up around 95, 96. That changeup, mid 80s. But likes to throw it a lot. Guessing you'll see it against Blackman. There it is.
Strike 1. Boy, extra innings buys Charlie Blackman another opportunity to extend the on-base streak. 31 games. 0 for 4 so far today. Quickly 0-2. Carlos Estevez back-to-back one-out singles against him in that 9th inning, but then able to strike out both Turner and Bellinger, sticking with that fastball.
Well, he struck out the side, right? He led off the inning getting garlic. Those are fastballs that are, we're not talking about 94, 95. We're talking about 98, 99. A man can throw. Got a heck of an arm.
Another 0-2 from Baez to Blackman, and he finished him off with a changeup. So Blackman is 0 for 5.
We said it, Baez loves his changeup. Very effective, especially against left-handed hitters. You see, this pitch isn't even down, it's up. Blackman just off balance. Pretty efficient there.
So on a night where Ian Desmond goes 4 for 4, he's out of the game, and Tony Walters hits in his spot. Came in as part of the double switch earlier to do the catching. And takes strike 1 and a changeup. Walters leading all catchers in the National League, hitting above 300 this year. For a guy who last season hit just $170. Says he's a constant tinkerer, kind of got caught chasing his tail. That's popped up in foul ground, and it'll reach the seats 0-2.
Another changeup. It's almost, you know, if I'm a Rockies hitter, I'm a left-handed hitter, I'm going to sell out. I'm going to sit on a changeup. And if he pumps 3 fastballs by me, God bless him. But I can't try to protect both.
It's a problem Baez has started to present, where it used to be just pretty much you're going to get a fastball, maybe a slider sprinkled in. On an 0-2. With the change introduced a pop fly to shallow right center field for Justin Turner.
I mean, that's interesting. He went changeup, changeup, changeup. And, you know, it reminds me of the Hall of Fame closer Trevor Hoffman. So many years with the Padres. Came up with signed with the Reds and Marlins and San Diego, and he finished in Milwaukee. But changeup every pitch. You knew it was coming, and you still couldn't hit it. If I'm Dahl right now, I'm going to sit on a changeup.
Looking for his first hit today. First hit of the series. He's 0 for 8 so far. First pitch from Baez is a changeup. Cut on and miss. Six of the 8 pitches thrown by Baez have been changeups.
4 straight.
And turns the fastball up to 96, and what an inning from Pedro Baez. Jock Peterson more comfortable doing that than anything else at first. Catching a pop fly on 9 pitches, 1, 2, 3. Muncy, Taylor, Beatty coming up.
What's that? Thanks, man. They're new. And they make me look faster. If you get in a rundown, if it's hit hard at somebody, get in a rundown. Coming back, turn inside, you might get interference. Never know.
Tino Ebel wearing the microphone for us today. Get to hear some of his sound as this game goes to the bottom of the 10th. Wade Davis on the pitch. Max Muncy taking ball 1. And for Wade Davis, second season with the Rockies after he led the National League with 43 saves last year. Got off to a good start this season. Then to the IL for an oblique injury, but has really struggled lately.
Yeah, just hasn't been able to find any type of rhythm at all.
Falls behind Muncy 2-0. 8 runs allowed in Davis's last 4 games. On a 2-0. That is ball 3. There's Muncy's walk last night with 2 gone in the 9th inning that set the table for Matt Beatty's walk-off homer. Leading off this 10th with Taylor and Beatty to follow. Green light?
I'm green lighting him. Absolutely.
He's going to use the green light, move up and lay a bunt down.
Well, you saw him. The feet were moving in the box. I think he was doing, that's the old high school play, right? Just stick the bat out. He wasn't bunting anything.
Got him shifted around to pull. On a 3-1 pitch from Wade Davis, Muncy pops it up. Foul ground third base side. Arenado is not going to get there.
Well, and that's because of the shift. You know, that ball was easily catchable if he was playing straight up. But you see where he's at, and he's kind of even cheating just in case he bunts. And you look where this ball lands. And that lands on the field. Nope, on the mat right there. That's a catchable ball.
So Muncy stays alive at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Davis ready. Here he comes. That is a leadoff walk for Muncy. And it brings up Chris Taylor.
Shortstop number 3, Chris Taylor.
Who has a home run against Davis.
Well, the question becomes, is the Muncy walk going to end up same situation as last night? Preceded the big hit by Beatty.
He squares and takes low, ball 1. Chris Taylor, it appears to have sacrifice in here, but facing these Rockies in the 10th inning last September, those teams in a dead heat in the division, hit a walk-off home run against Adam Ottavino.
So do you take off the bunt and hope that Davis is going to groove one because you think the hitter's going to bunt? I take it off. No bunt.
Hot hitters swing away, huh? Taylor has been that. Got the winning run at first. Nobody out, 10th inning. Squares again. And bunts it foul.
Jeff, I take it off because if he gets down to set, I want Beatty to swing the bat. I want him to have an opportunity to hit. And I don't think the Rockies will pitch to him. They'll go right to Martin.
On the line foul. 1-2. Well, Beatty very quickly is becoming a guy the Dodgers want at the plate with an opportunity to swing away.
Well, and I think because he's had the recent success, he wants to be at the plate. I mean, there's no doubt in his mind that he is the right guy to be up there. And I think that had the Dodgers tried to bunt Muncy to second base, first base is open. If I'm the Rockies, I just walk him.
Yeah. So now it's 1-2, and Davis to Taylor inside 2-2. Dodgers had an opportunity in the bottom of the ninth. They had first and second, one gone. Carlos Estevez able to strike out Turner and Bellinger. Here in the 10th, Davis walking the leadoff man Muncy. Bouncing ball. Diving, smothering, stopped by McMahon, but he's got no play. And they're at first and second with nobody out. Well, that moves him up.
Moves him up. Nobody's walking anybody on purpose here. McMahon does a nice job of getting to it. Unable to field it cleanly. Not sure that he would have been able to flip it to Rogers to get Muncy at second. Well, here you go. Same situation as last night as far as Beatty having a chance to walk off the Rockies.
On the first pitch from Davis, he takes high and away, ball one. He's followed up that walk-off home run with a 3-for-4 performance today. Tied the game in the bottom of the 8th with a 2-out single. And in the majors in his career, 9 for 17 with runners in scoring position. Two balls, no strikes.
And what a great spot right now as a hitter. When you're basically looking for something that you want. Got the luxury to take pitches. Davis has to throw a strike here. He's trying to find a corner.
Chop foul, and it's 2-1. That Beatty guy come up through the minors and hit every step of the way. Won a Double-A batting title, but seemingly was a glass ceiling he couldn't crack through. Finally did earlier this season. He's taken the opportunity and run with it.
Well, you got to look for something up in the zone. You want to stay away from a ground ball double play. Ahead in the count, 2-1. Do not have to offer at Davis's pitch. Now Davis obviously looking for something in the corner, looking for a ground ball.
He gets it but foul, and it's 2-2.
Davis has made two great pitches. Falling behind 2-0. Even the count at 2-2. Both of those foul balls, ground balls.
Muncy at second has good wheels. 4-4 game last of the 10th. 2 on, nobody out. And a 2-2 pitch from Wade Davis to Matt Beatty. That ball is at second. McMahon feeding Rogers, who turns and guns to first, a double play. Up to third goes Muncy, but he got exactly what he was looking for. And they're an out away from getting out of it again.
Well, Davis does a great job. Falls behind 2-0, makes 2 excellent pitches, draws the count even, and then induces the double play. Excellent pitches and some pressure spots. Goes up in the zone. This is just, that's a ball. Beatty gets on top of it even.
So it'll be up to Russell Martin here with 2 gone in the 10th.
Look for something away. Hope he makes a mistake and leaves it up. Shoot that thing to right center. That's what you're doing if you're a hitter. You're Davis right now. You're trying to go low and away. Something down on the ground. Get Martin to beat it into the ground.
In the dirt. What a stop by Walters. Wow.
Really a heck of a play by the catcher in that situation. What a job. So here's the thing. If I'm hitting right now and I'm Russell Martin, I'm looking for a fastball up out over the plate. I'm saying I don't know that he's going to throw a curveball right now. He's probably not confident with a runner on third.
Inside corner, 1-1.
Wanted to go away. And still, RBI situation, out over the plate, up.
Muncy at third, 2 gone, 10th inning. Davis to the plate with a 1-1 pitch. Martin takes it in the dirt. Another stop by Walters, and it's 2-1.
Great job by Walters. At that time, he didn't even drop down to the knees. He just kind of picked that out of the ground. Backhanded it.
Former infielder. Austin Barnes waits on deck as 2-1 comes home, and Martin takes it inside for ball 3. It has been a rough go of it this season for Barnes, although better the last few days. Factoring into Davis's decisions on how he approaches Martin.
Davis has first base open. He does not have to throw a hittable pitch here.
On 3-1, Martin takes ball 4, and so passes the baton to Barnes.
Smart move by Davis. No reason to have to go after Martin or give him anything good to hit. Start with a new count, go after Barnes.
Well, Barnes has been working on a different swing lately, and 2 nights ago had his first 3-hit game since opening day. Winning run at third, 2 gone, 10th inning. Davis to Barnes with the first one. He takes down and away as Martin takes second. 1 ball, no strikes. So first base again open, but you figure Davis would rather go after Barnes than the left-handed hitting Jock Peterson. Barnes trying to come through for the Dodgers. Fouls it back, and it's 1-1.
Good cut by Barnes. Davis, a nice pitch on the outer part of the plate there.
One pitch. Couldn't lay off, and it's 1-2.
Well, you can see that he goes, offers at the breaking ball. Then you got to hand it to Walters. He's done a great job because there have been a number of breaking balls in the dirt. And there hasn't even been a question him picking them or keeping them in front.
The 1-2 pitch. He went around, and after the first two each against Wade Davis, he's able to get out of the jam. The game's still tied at 4 to the 11th. Game started at 4:15 local time. It marches on with the sun setting over Los Angeles, and Joe Kelly comes out.
Well, you look at the numbers, the ERA, the record, that he just has not been able to find any type of rhythm so far in his first year in LA. The arm's still electric, great stuff, but having trouble falling behind in counts.
Part of the lineup here, Arenado. First one from Kelly is a fastball to 98, strike one. The stuff is as good as any pitcher in baseball, as the Dodgers saw in the World Series last year when he was perfect with Boston. Kelly's 0-1, 99 but low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, and if the Dodgers can get him back to that level, you know, he answers that bullpen question. You know, so many people are talking about, well, where the Dodgers need to make an improvement or where can they add. Well, you're looking at him right here.
Arenado on the ground to Chris Taylor at short for the first out of the 11th. Now the Dodgers, so good offensively, so good with the starting pitching, but the bullpen has been the one issue. It's been better in June. In fact, in the month of June, they rank in the top 2 or 3 in baseball in most categories. But it is no question the spot that most expect the Dodgers to address as the deadline approaches. One gone, Daniel Murphy. Taking 100 for a ball. That's a strike. JP Morosi, what are you hearing about the relief market?
Well, Joe, it is almost trade season, my friend. My favorite time of year. Detroit certainly a seller. Shane Green a possibility for the Dodgers. The Pittsburgh Pirates trending in the selling direction with Felipe Vasquez as well. And how about this? The Dodgers and Giants have not consummated a trade since 2007 involving our colleague at Fox, Mark Sweeney. But Will Smith available as well. And, of course, Giants president of baseball operations, Farhan Zaidi, knows the Dodgers very well.
Yeah, was their general manager prior to this season before heading to San Francisco to run the Giants.
Well, from an optics standpoint, it wouldn't look great, right? Dodgers and Giants making a trade. But, you know, from the Giants standpoint, it would make some sense. You know the Dodgers farm system as well as anybody.
1-2 to Murphy.
And you can essentially, you know, deplete the Dodgers, right? You ask for something that You know, they may not want to give up, but they realize to get a guy like Smith, they're going to have to give up something of value, especially because they're going to be competing with other teams for those relievers. I think it'd be neat. It'd be a neat story, and it would make a lot of sense.
Kelly gets Murphy, 2 gone in the 11th. There's some thought that the Giants would package Will Smith with another reliever, whether that be Tony Watson or Sam Dyson, but in order to get a little bit better return. So rental on a reliever, probably not going to get you a ton. If you package 2 high end arms together, that changes the equation. There's Mark Reynolds to pinch hit in a tie game in the 11th. Well, Reynolds back with the Rockies, his second stint. He's been mostly a pinch hitter and has struggled. He's 2 of his last 31. A bit inside, ball 1.
So that's something that, you know, Arenado, he gets to ground out. Then he strikes out Murphy. And then, you know, you've got that. And what you hope is, as you know, the Dodgers right now, you're looking at it and say, okay, don't let that spiral. That's just one thing, you know, get back, focus, make some pitches. Don't think of that one right there that just got away. Right, and this is what Joe Kelly needs to overcome. You know, boom, step off, breathe. All right, you know, I'm back in Boston. I'm pitching here at Dodger Stadium in the World Series. You've got to channel that.
Missed badly with the first 2 on 2-0 to Reynolds. This can't be a comfy at bat for a hitter at this point.
No, and it's difficult for a guy like Reynolds, who is, you know, he's a big hitter, he's a power hitter, and he's been sitting on the bench. You know, now you're asked to come up and face a guy that's, you know, got an electric arm, and all of a sudden can't find the zone.
And a 4-pitch walk. So that snaps a string of 12 in a row retired by Dodger pitching, and keeps this 11th inning alive for Ryan McMahon. That is Jeff Hoffman, pinch running for Mark Reynolds, one of the starting pitchers for the Rockies. And McMahon to the plate with 2 gone. Mentioned it earlier, but 2 key home runs against the Dodgers last year. Back-to-back nights. Swings and misses at 98, strike 1.
We mentioned it earlier, McMahon, you know, as much power as anybody in this stadium right now.
That's some high praise. Some good power in this stadium.
Right.
Kelly's 0-1. That's in there for strike 2. Bottom of the 11th inning, the Dodgers will have 9-1-2 and make that the top of the order coming up. Peterson, Verdugo, and Turner. Dodgers out hitting the Rockies 13-8 in this game. They're tied at 4, 11th inning. Good stop by Russell Martin, keeping the go-ahead run at first.
You know, I got to believe the fastball is coming right here. You've just blown 2 by him. You weren't real close with that breaking ball.
Got him swinging, and Joe Kelly with a scoreless 11th inning. Top of the order for the Dodgers coming up, last of the 11th. each of the last two. Estevez able to get out of that ninth inning jam, striking out both Turner and Bellinger. And then in the 10th, it was first and second, nobody out when Beatty bounced into this 4-6-3 double play. Davis struck out Austin Barnes to lead the winning run at third base. So to the bottom of the 11th we go, still tied at 4.
Yeah, the Rockies bullpen, they've made pitches when they've needed to. You know, the offense is obviously cooled. Now a battle of the bullpens.
And Jesus Tinoco, the rookie, comes on for just his 3rd appearance.
3 live arm, likes the sinker slider type guy.
Jock Peterson leading the 11th off and taking ball 1. Peterson has hits in back-to-back at-bats. Prior to that, he was 3 for his last 43. I mentioned it earlier, but he's got a walk-off home run under his belt this season back in April against Cincinnati. On this 1-0 pitch, takes ball 2. Verdugo and Turner to follow.
Verdugo's had a night. 3 base hits, home run.
On 2-0, Peterson cracks one in the air, shallow center field. Out goes Rogers to put it away.
Center fielder number 27, Alex Verdugo.
Gone, and here's Verdugo. You mentioned the night he's had. A home run, his 6th of the season. Still just 23 years old, the rookie out of Tucson, Arizona. Lays off ball 1. Really, it's been Alex Verdugo's emergence that has led to Jock Peterson playing first base. Because they know when A.J. Pollock comes back, there are too many guys for those 3 outfield spots.
Well, and you need Pollock to play. You got to put him out in center field. You need that right-handed bat in the lineup. And you just got to get him going. So you know he plays every day, you know, minus the days that he needs some rest. As you mentioned, Verdugo has played himself into an everyday role.
On this 1-1 from Tinoco, Verdugo swings away, fly ball right field. Different night, same story for a rookie Dodger. Walk-off home run, Alex Verdugo. Dodgers now with 4 walk-off home runs this season, 3 coming from rookies. Will Smith and Matt Beatty last night. And here in the 11th, Alex Verdugo on a Saturday night on Baseball Night in America.
Well, definitely a night for Verdugo, his 2nd home run. He knows it when he hits it. What a great night for the rookie.
So 5-4 the final score as Verdugo takes Tinoco deep. 2nd home run of the game. and left-handed swing for the 23-year-old. Tonight hits his 6th and his 7th home runs of the season. And the Dodgers improved their Major League best record to 53 and 25.
I mean, this club just keeps coming at you. There's never a place to breathe. A different guy each night.
So Verdugo, the hero in this one. We're going to wrap things up from Los Angeles on the other side of this break as the Dodgers win it in 11.